This is the MLW Radio Network.
Welcome, everybody, to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly trip into the world according to former WWE and ECW wrestler, the Blue Meanie. We'll talk wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm Josh Shernoff, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's up, man?
I'm so discombobulated this morning. It's just, I got a lot going on. Well, now that we're streaming live on the Patreon, and you called me, I was like, oh, shit. All right. Let me put my tits away and answer the phone. I won't wear the same dirty tank top I've been wearing for the 3 days in the apocalypse, because where do I have to go? You know,
Absolutely nowhere.
Nowhere. You know, it's like that Talking Head song. This is, you know. But no, I'm doing pretty good, man. Got this fucking ear thing going on that's fucking driving me nuts. But like I say, like when I was growing up, twice a year, I would have like an allergy attack, and like when my asthma was bad, my allergies would set off my asthma. But like right now, it's just like allergies are killing me. I got this ear thing to where like I can barely hear out my left ear right now. So
that's not great.
Nah, it's like a fucking train that's never late. You know, I'm like, oh, there's that. You know,
which ear is it? You said your left ear?
Yeah, man, it's fucking.
All right, I'll make sure to talk into your
I'm clawing at it like a fucking cat, like, you know,
get in
what the fuck?
You ever, there was, what's it called? There's something I've seen before, like a Debrox or Debroxin.
Dude, I got a bottle right next to me. I did.
And that clears that stuff out, man.
Yeah, but
theoretically.
I'm thick-headed, so it takes a little bit longer for me.
Just got to squeeze that whole bottle into it.
Yeah, dude, I swear to God, that stuff works miracles.
Yeah.
But I started feeling it last night. I went, fuck. You know, it's just like anytime I eat like a really salty potato chip and it hits my lip, I go, that's going to be a fever blister. You know, I just know when shit's going to happen. Like certain things happen. I go, oh, expect this to happen, and like it happens like on time.
When I see a mosquito land on me, even if I don't feel anything, I just see it and I go,
here comes the Zika.
Yep, that's No, I was just like, that's gonna itch for quite a while. And I got bit up pretty bad the other day out in the old garden, picking some tomatoes.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Dude, Mrs. Meanie's been doing we've been doing the cookout thing. Like I said, we're trying to utilize our yard. And holy shit, are like bugs aggressive this summer. It's like, what the fuck?
You know what they're thinking? They're like, not a lot of people have been out this summer, and we're really trying to suck some blood over here. Yeah.
I'm pale white, so I'm very fluorescent. So they probably think I'm a light bulb, and they just fucking fly right into me. And I'm like a fucking buffet to a mosquito. I mean, hey, guys, it's all you can eat. Come on over. You know, look at that ass. It looks like an oatmeal buffet. What, he's sitting in a gravel driveway? What the fuck's up with this guy? But, I'm a little bit lit up this morning.
Good. That's what we want.
I'm excited. What
the pod squad's
of you? What's that?
It's what the pod squad's looking for.
Yeah. Anybody in the room?
Oh, yeah. We got a bunch of people here. And we've even got a couple of messages from our Patreon members. We got James Sorensen, which I believe is a new elite Patreon member.
Hello.
Says you are truly awesome. The Blue Meanie is phenomenal.
Too kind.
Yeah. I'm going to since he said the Blue Meanie is phenomenal and then had a different post, you're truly awesome, I'm just going to go along with that one was for me.
Hey, just take it. Own it.
Yeah, so full disclosure to everybody listening, and these are some of the fun things. This is not like trying to sell Patreon on you, but we have like a 5-minute thing where we're technically streaming live so we can get the live stream out to our Patreon members. And I'll be honest. Oh, thank you, Devin. Josh is great too. And appreciate that, man. So there is a chance, and Patreon members maybe let us know, that you may have been able to hear either myself, Meanie, or both basically just shooting the shit for like 5 minutes before we got things going here.
I was hoping these guys didn't hear my fucking toilet flush.
Yeah, so it was. Meanie was literally shooting the shit, and
it was like this. Yeah. So. That was one of the things I was like, man, I got so many different sound things in the fucking Rodecaster. I was like,
yeah.
I was partial to the harp, so I got rid of the harp. And last couple of weeks, like I haven't been feeling too good last week, but this commercial always comes on, and I crack up for Pepto, and it's like, and I giggle like a fucking infant. So I just threw that in there.
So shifting gear, I don't know how to top that. So James Sorensen also says, and this is something we want to reach out and thank everybody. He said he had a great talk with Meanie the other night. I'm going to assume that he's referencing your appearance on the Top Guys section, right? Of
absolutely.
Ad-free shows.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that.
Oh, dude, man. Conrad's like the podfather, you know? And like I said, he said some kind words about us, which is kind of like getting a blessing from the Pope, you know, like a little benediction. He said, listen to the mind of the meanie. And, hey, man, I was like, that endorsement right there is worth its weight in gold. You know, of course, Colt Cabana opened the doors for us to do for wrestlers to do podcasts. But
yeah, but that son of a bitch won't give us he won't say anything about us. No, I love Colt. I'm just kidding.
Nah, just kidding. But seriously.
That mother. Yeah.
But Conrad's built this empire where, like, I don't know how he sleeps. But he's got shows 5 days a week, and he's built this empire, and we're not technically in his network, but he, you know, game recognizes game, man. No, I'm just kidding. No, but he was really kind. Conrad's a really kind dude. And his folks reached out and said, hey, we have this Zoom call / gimmick / meeting we do with our top tier Patreon members. Mm-hmm. You know, he has his own version of the Pod Squad. They're the top guys.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I was like, absolutely. And Thursday, well, today's Saturday. I did a Thursday, and much like our show, I didn't know when to shut the fuck up. Like, we were going like into, 2.5 hours. I was like, how long do you guys usually got? They're like, oh, about an hour. I was like, oh, so sorry. Because like when I tell a story, I feel guilty if I don't give the particulars and stuff like that.
Well, that's what people are there for.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's saying, oh, I've paid all this money. I'd like to hear the Blue Meanie just give me a 1-word answer.
Yeah, like question, I'm giving a fucking deposition or something, you know? Just, yep.
Yep. Plead the fifth.
Like working ECW?
Yeah. Blue Meanie, how did that? Do you have any understanding of how soiled underwear got to the roof of a building? I plead the fifth.
The rec center in Lincoln Heights, Michigan.
Yeah. So no, that's cool. I think that's really cool, and that you were able to do that and kind of expand out to a new audience, and we were able to from that. We welcome some of those top guys who are joining us now on our Patreon, and we really appreciate that. And we encourage everybody to go check out the adfreeshows.com as well. They have some, just great shows there. And yeah, you mentioned we're not on their, James Sorensen's best 3 hours of the week until now. Oh man, it's not nice of you to say, but this shit's about to go downhill. So
it's all downhill from here, buddy.
This is it. Yeah. So what else is going on? Some of the things I want to cover.
Just $4.99 back. Just, you keep the penny. I want my $4.99.
Yeah. Well, we have bills to pay, so we can't give you the full refund. We got to keep that penny. So some of the things I want to talk about. So anybody who's listening to the show on Monday, when it normally drops, 6 a.m., I hope that you joined us last night for alternative commentary during SummerSlam on Fight TV. For those of you who are Patreon members who are watching this live now, join us tomorrow night. Well, we're in some weird time warp when we do these things. Join us tomorrow night for SummerSlam live on Fight TV.
Though.
What?
We're never punctual, though. Like, our show will drop on the anniversary of, like, an ECW pay-per-view. And, We totally fucking no sell it.
Yep,
so.
not at all. And yeah, so we should just do our live watch along of SummerSlam on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That would be more on brand for us. But no, we're really excited about it. These Patreon live feeds during the recording of our podcast has really the idea of doing that came as a like, oh shit, man, we really need to practice going live because we don't know what we're doing. We've never, it's one of those things you ever learn I've heard this from a bunch of people, but yeah, I remember a buddy of mine saying to me at one point, because someone asked me, they're like, oh, do you know how to do copy? And I was like, I think so. I can kind of figure that out. And he said to me, he goes, listen to me. If someone asks you, do you know how to do copy? The answer is yes. And then you go figure out how to do copy. And I felt so stupid because that's how I've kind of always lived my life, which is like, do you know how to do, can you do this? Can you do that? Yeah, absolutely. Fight TV says, hey, can you go live? Yeah, no problem. Get off the phone. Meanie, we have a problem. I just committed us to go live, and I don't know how to do it. But thankfully they've worked with us, and we've figured it out, and hopefully it will be flawless. And if it isn't, we'll just blame it on Fight.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Pass the fucking heat like a hot potato.
Yep. But the cool thing is too, you'll be able to go back and check that out on Fight TV. It will be there forever, barring us saying something terrible. It will, and possibly if we say something terrible, they might keep it up there. We will be on Fight TV forevermore. So if you are listening to this now and you go, what? I totally forgot. I didn't even realize SummerSlam was happening. Well, that's fine. Go check us out now. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it's almost like we're going to be Thunderdome adjacent. Yeah. Which is nice. And, what do you think of the Thunderdome, man?
Hey, well, it's a pretty good concept I came up with.
Yeah.
Back in May, I pitched it to AEW, and they no-sold it, but WWE said, hey, great idea.
Yeah, you know what? AEW has a tendency, as much as I love them, they have a tendency to no-sell things, like hashtag Orange v. Blue.
Right.
Has not been responded to by one Tony Khan or Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy, I don't expect him to do. He probably tried, and then he just fell asleep while he was tweeting.
He was very underwhelmed.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, I'm not here to toot my own horn, but, I pitched this back in May, without even getting other particulars, on Twitter and privately. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, why don't you just get a video wall of fans? And they could just yell and cheer and all, and like the response on Twitter was pretty good, but then you always have those people who go, what if somebody whips out their dick? I was like, well, leave your fantasies to yourself.
Yeah. Come on. If that's what you're looking for, don't tune into WWE, but do tune into alternative commentary.
Because if I'm a couple seltzers deep, anything can happen.
Speaking of, may I?
Oh, yeah.
May I? Because it's 1,000 degrees up here. I'm having a mixed berry. We're just going old school.
Yeah. And I got a Bellevue lime. So let's crack that open.
Oh, go Birds.
And I got this one for that. There we go.
Nice. So, hey, one of the other things I want to point out, Meanie, you've got a nice hanging microphone there from Rode.
Here's the next 4 hours of our show, folks. Here we go. We're going to talk about our Rode product.
Let's tell you all about Rode. No, but anyone watching, I don't have that because mine is currently set up in my basement where I will be doing the alternative commentary, and eventually we're starting work on the basement in August 31st. So I'm hoping mid-September or so that I will be down there. I will have moved everything down, have a whole new setup, be about 10 to 15 degrees cooler and than it is up here. And
we can have Mine to DeMeanie underground.
Yeah,
to be in the basement.
Literally.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that. It'll be a nice setup. But for tomorrow, for alternative commentary and or yesterday, it's just gonna be. I've got my signs. Like you have the sign behind you. Will be tacked up to the. So we had our basement waterproofed a couple years ago. There it is. Nice looking sign there.
Yeah.
And we had our basement waterproofs. And so we have like in preparation of finishing the basement, because we knew we would want to one day, there's like this white thing covering the wall. So I don't know, whatever. So that's why I'm just going to hang it on that. And we'll see. I've got like random IKEA furniture from my apartment like 7 years ago. That's like, I'm like, you know what? If I drag this over and I'll put a Shirley
Allen
award
wrenches
on
all
it.
over the fucking place.
Oh my God. Swimming in Allen wrenches.
And
Story of my
instructions you
life.
totally did not read. You
No.
just said like, fuck, I don't need this.
No. Has anyone ever read an IKEA instruction manual?
No.
You look at the
Well, it's in
pictures.
fucking Swedish. So what
Yeah.
the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
I'm stupid, man. I'm stupid.
Because
but
you don't- because you can't
I'm
read
excited to
Swedish?
see what you're. What's that?
Because you can't read Swedish?
No.
That doesn't make you stupid.
Yeah. I told.
Makes you an ignorant son of... No.
I told an ex-girlfriend once I was part Norwegian, and she said, "Where's Norwegia?" I went, "Oh, okay." This is gonna
Right where
work
this
out great.
relationship's headed.
Yeah. No, but seriously, I can't wait to see your new setup, man.
Yeah, don't judge me by tomorrow because that's not going to look good. But the new setup's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to have. We talked about this before. I'm going to have the all the ties hanging behind me. I bought that shelf already.
Yeah.
It is a 4-foot wide shelf. Totally unnecessary for when we do this, and you only see like this much of me. But
Well, I
very
was nervous when go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I'm not talking about anything important.
No, I was going to say you only see this, but when I got this new camera for our setup because the other one shit the bed, and I was like, I put it up. I was like, man, that shows way too much of my fucking house that I'm comfortable with. So, like, I keep this part of the house neat. So it's just like if you go over a little bit here, don't show that. But now with the framing, we're pretty good.
Outside of this right now, if you like, it is a disaster all around here. Not only I have a pack and play over to my left where my son sleeps. I have a makeshift changing table over here to my left. And then I've got to the right, I've got like various guitars lying about. I've got my bookshelves with, I mean, there's probably 2 or 3 books on there somewhere, but it's
A lot
just
of pop-ups.
A lot of pop-ups.
Much like my book.
Scratch and sniffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone said something about.
So I swear I'll stop that.
Hey, what does a glockenspiel sound like? Like that. Apparently, I've got not only on the Rodecaster Pro that I have here, but the Ecamm Live, which is the what we use to go live,
Right.
has a sound effects thing as well. So I haven't tested any of them except for right now the glockenspiel. So that's pretty fun too.
Does it actually say Glockenspiel?
It says glockenspiel. Straight up, that was it. That was a glockenspiel.
I feel inadequate right now.
Yeah.
With my 8 buttons.
Yeah. So I've got six more sound effects over here. I really have to adjust though. I don't know how to like drag things around, but we've got so we have bank 1, bank 2, bank 3, and bank 4, which are like all the different pages of 8 sounds we can do per page on a Rodecaster Pro. Rodecaster Pro. If you need sounds, they've got them. I don't know. So I never like deleted any of the original ones. So I've got like the applause and rim shot and sad trombone and laughter. But every time I go over to the sound effects, like BWO theme and the MLW signature and all that, I have to go to bank 2. And then it's like, but then I have too many things. So I have to, for like a Mrs. Meanie run-in, it always takes me a minute because I got to jump over to bank 3 for the Mrs. Meanie run-in. Which reminds me, talk,
Yes.
Meanie, because while you do that, I'm going to look up the awesome Mrs. Meanie run-in theme cover that happened.
Well, actually, speaking of Mrs. Meanie, she's currently working on her newest video, and sometimes her videos go a little bit long, but it's good.
It's on
cool.
brand for
It's on brand for Mind of DeMeanie. She averages about like 20 minutes, so I think she's got like 2 videos. One's like 20 minutes on her Funko Pop collection, and she just did one that's super, super cool. She's taken up juggling, And every day in our backyard, she goes out and practices juggling. And
Every day she's juggling.
yeah, and she's doing pretty good, man. I don't think I could do one rotate or whatever it's called of juggling. One set.
I'm actually not to pat myself on the back, but I can throw things up in the air. It ends there.
Yeah.
But I have not mastered. I'm average at the ability of throwing that first ball up in the air. After that, complete clusterfuck. But I can't do. I'm sorry. I had to get myself over there. Sorry.
Fucking jerk. Yep. Seriously though, no, she's doing great, and she did this video. And I want to save it for your viewing eyes and your listening ears. But she showed me the final part of it. Like she finished it last night, and she showed it to me, and I was so happy. I'm so proud of her. With the apocalypse, people handle it differently, with this quarantine. And through this quarantine, she's been able to find herself artistically with doing the Mrs. Meanie run-in videos. She's taught herself how to record, edit, put in sound, put in photos, and all this stuff. I'm like, holy shit. What have you been up to? Are you my girlfriend? Are you my wife? What have you done with Tracy? But no, seriously, she's learned all this stuff on her own to add content to our page, because like her run-ins on this show just happen organically. Just because sometimes I'll tell a story, and out of the part of trying to tell the story and be in character and be on, I'll leave out like a small little detail, and she'll always be the one to go, "Oh, you're forgetting about this." So I was telling a story on here, like in the early stages of this show, and she was dying to tell me. I was like, "What's going on?" And she came over, and it's like, Mrs. Mean with the run in there, and now she has a theme, and now she has a show. And actually, she wound up.
I still can't find. I'm looking.
She did a run-in on the Top Guys chat the other night for something. I started off the chat with talking about shows we're binge watching, and I said I was doing a slow burn on the Golden Girls, which we finally finished the other night. And somebody asked, what's our, what other shows are we binge watching? And I was like talking about, and I couldn't think of it. It's every night it's Sherlock on BBC, and I couldn't think of the other show. And I wish she was here right now, because I still can't remember the other fucking show. But we watch there's certain shows we watch so many times that like we just put it on to go to sleep, because we don't have to worry about paying attention, and it's kind of like a soothing voice, to help you go to sleep, because I can't go to sleep if it's dead silent. I always need some kind of noise. I need a TV
absolutely.
On. I need a fan going, or just something. And now with the air conditioner going, that's all I really need. I just need a low sound going, because I'm pretty sure I have like a slow tinnitus.
Meanie's looking for a fan to be going, so if you're a Pod Squad member and you'd like to sign up to stand outside Meanie's window.
I had to shut my dude. Every show I want to, because it's fucking warm in here, and I got this one little fan that I got. Some studio engineer recommended it. We saw it online. We got them for ourselves. But I was like, dude, it's nice and cool. I open up the window, and right before broadcasting, somebody's walking down the street going, "Okay, hon, I'll talk to you later. Give me a call." I was like, I got to shut my fucking window like right now. So it sucks. It's such a beautiful day. I got to shut my door and window. But getting back to Mrs. Meanie, while you look up the song.
Where is this? When did she post this? Come on.
I believe Jeffrey Mitchell posted
I know. I looked through his thing, and I can't find it anywhere.
Was it in the DM?
I'm looking at Twitter. I'm looking at Twitter.
Look in our DMs.
Well, didn't she? I thought.
Because Jeffrey Mitchell likes to send us like a...
Jeffrey Mitchell, are you here? Are you watching us live now?
Hold on. Look. Let me fucking...
I'll find it. Don't you worry. I'm going to find it. No, I'm back.
Of all the things I don't have on this fucking roadcaster, I don't have like hold music.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
No, hold on.
No, we'll find it. I'll find it at some point. This is...
No.
Do you have it?
Like I said, let me slide in. Son of a bitch. This is the top quality content.
This is what you get. You know what? Now, you know what we're going to do now? I'm jumping on to, I'm just going to type Mrs. Meanie run in. I'm typing that in. Yeah, found it. Comes up on YouTube.
Because Jeffrey has a YouTube.
How about that? Here we go. All right, you
How
ready?
about that?
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Mind of the meanie, Mrs. Meanie's running, Tracy Roots got something to say. Hey, hey, hey. Mind of the meanie, Mrs. Meanie's running, Tracy Roots got something to say. I wonder what she'll have to say today.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That
This
was
is Meanie
amazing.
Unplugged. Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey Mitchell.
Thank you, Jeffrey Mitchell, for being a Pod Squad elite member and a friend of the show, and apparently a cover band for Mind of the Meanie. I've been so. You ever look at your phone? You're like in a rabbit hole. That's where I feel like I'm like coming back. I'm like, oh, we're on the air. Hey guys, welcome back. I wish I would have gone to YouTube right away and typed it in. So anyway,
No, but seriously, Mrs. Meanie's been doing some really cool shit, and she's got like 2 videos in the chamber ready for our YouTube channel and stuff like that. One's like 20 minutes, a lot of fun about her Funko Pop collection and story behind certain things, and then her second video is going to be on her juggling and stuff like that. So. A lot of fun stuff coming to our YouTube page. So go to youtube.com/mindofthemeanie. Hit subscribe.
Yeah,
hit
and as far as hit that little bell is what I cut off from you, I believe. But no, I was gonna say thank you to Mrs. Meanie, because if you're checking that out, like we put up our episodes all the time on there. But we've hit a little bit of a lull. Like she's the one creating new content for our YouTube.
yeah.
We're working on it. We're working on some more stuff that'll be here soon. And you know how we could get there even sooner, Pod Squad, if you're listening? You're listening. If you're Pod Squad, you're listening. And if you're not listening, then you don't know I'm saying this to you. So nothing really matters, as Queen would say. Okay. We have 721 subscribers to our YouTube channel. What we need is 1,000. And the reason being, right now we're going live, and this is live just for our Patreon members, but this is how we could go live on our YouTube. However, you cannot go live via your mobile device unless you have 1,000 subscribers. Why? I have no idea. I think it's a terrible decision on YouTube's part, but it is what it is. We would love to be able to create some more content, hop on real quick, do something live, be it Meanie by himself, me by myself, us together, Mrs. Meanie running in just on her own for 5 minutes of something. We would love to be able to have all these things, but we need to bump that up to 1,000. So we are well over 1,000 at this point on our Twitter followers. We are well over 1,000 on our listeners. So guys, gals, jump in there. Follow us on YouTube. And if nothing else, even if you don't want to, just jump on YouTube and subscribe and get those numbers up and then block us. You know, that's something you do. I don't know why you'd want to if you listen to this show. But yeah, so definitely do that. That would be great. Hey, Mad Dog 56131 writes, shout out to Bill Matz, Broad Street Hockey, for repping the Blue Meanies Flyers merch last night on the post-game show. Go Flyers. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, Bill Matz works over at WIP. Big wrestling fan. He's getting married to Ava Graham, daughter of Big Daddy Graham. Okay. Amazing comedian. Another guy, I listened to Big Daddy Graham overnight on the overnights forever. Funny guy, great observationalist. But yeah, last night they posted a video, and I'm like, I know that shirt. So
that's a good looking shirt. I want to see where he got that.
Yeah, maybe I'll buy one for myself.
Yeah. And if you want to buy one, ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie.
Yeah, but yeah, so much fun.
/Blue Meanie or Blue Meanie BWO?
Slash Blue Meanie.
Just Blue Meanie.
That's
boy.
before I got into the whole Blue Meanie BWO kick. So, no, thank you for. It was cool that Ava was posting a video of Bill watching the Flyers game and all his idiosyncrasies, which is pretty much like how we would be watching like the Eagles games this year. We're just like, I'm going to back up for this is just for Patreon. This is how I watch an Eagles game. Hand over the face, eyes peering over my hand, and I got the one arm around my belly like I'm like a model on a runway, just like waiting for him to blow a call.
Listen, if you're on the fence about Patreon, at this point, join for the $3 tier for 1 month just to see what Meanie just did, and then just cancel it. It's worth it. Just $3. Just jump in, see what Meanie just did right there, and then
$3 is a cup of coffee at Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts.
I wish at Starbucks, but no, it's a lot. Well, first of all, I'm a venti man myself.
What size is that?
That is large.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Go big or go home.
We go to. We make a cold brew at home now, but like when we want to feel rich, we go to Starbucks, and I go.
It's funny when I go to Starbucks, and immediately after I feel poor. So.
Yeah. Well. We have I'm sure people can relate to this. Like when you go to a store, you have a routine.
Sure.
Of how you order it. So either me or Mrs. Meanie will go, give us 2 of your biggest, blackest cold brews, no water. I want to be able to punch daylight. So, and we say it just like that, and we pop the fucking cashier every time.
Can we have a punching daylight T-shirt?
Dude. Yeah, seriously. We take
Meanie
that,
brew coffee, punching daylight.
Fucking punch, yeah. Need a fucking shirt of me punching daylight or whatever.
Andy, where are you?
Schlichter. Get on that.
If this is not in my Dropbox by the time this show is over,
you're fired.
Not
that you're an employee. But.
Not to jump away from what you're saying, but just a shout out to him.
He's a machine.
We are overwhelmed with merchandise at this point. And don't stop. Please don't stop. It is, I always say my favorite part of the week professionally. I have to say professionally because I have a wife and children, and they're always my favorite part of the week. Oh, okay.
Wink, wink.
But professionally speaking, my favorite part of the week is doing this podcast with you. My second favorite part of the rest of the week that I get throughout the whole week is Andy just like dropping me these random designs. Like he just did one that we put out there for alternative commentary in the old school SummerSlam logo.
That was amazing.
Just awesome. And that's the best part. Like there's times where I'm like, I remember I had like a thought. I wrote a couple things down last week. I was like, maybe I'll mention to Andy, see if he's in the mood to like work on a couple of things. And dude, they were there before like I even said anything to him. He's just like, oh, by the way, I jotted down a couple of ideas and here's what I've got so far. I'm like, this is insane.
And I guess he has to use this as an excuse with his girlfriend or something. Well, it's not like an excuse.
No, he was able to show his girlfriend, like bring her on to watch us on the live feed, putting him over. So he's like, see what's happening? But no, he's doing an amazing job. James Sorensen, if that becomes a shirt, I'll buy 5. Are you talking about the Punch in Daylight?
Hold on. Excuse me. I got distracted. What were you saying there?
No, I wasn't talking to you.
Oh.
I was talking to Pod Squad elite member James Sorensen.
Oh, yeah.
He says if that becomes a shirt, I'll buy 5. Should we tell him that we can just instantly charge him for that? I'm just kidding. Yeah. We can't do that. But if you're a Patreon member, man, go over to our Patreon exclusive merchandise page. It's insane. This is not a whole like launch into merchandise, but anything that we have not been able to do on Pro Wrestling Tees for a number of reasons. Some of it, for instance, it's Pro Wrestling Tees, not Pro Wrestling mugs. So if we want to have mugs, we do that elsewhere. Yes, the Punching Daylight. All right, I'm holding you to that, Sorensen. But
I love Pro Wrestling Tees, but there's certain things that we have to go elsewhere.
Oh, dude, not a knock on them.
No,
at all.
No, they're my fucking bread and butter.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. They are amazing. But there are some things that we can't do there, so we do it on the Patreon. For instance, we have now just moved over all of every bit of merchandise from SoSaysShernoff.com is going to become exclusive Patreon only merchandise. And you will be able to go to that Patreon page and you will be able to click on Josh Shernoff merch and get all of my merch. And then there will also be a special Blue Meanie merch where we'll be able to have some of the things that you might see on Pro Wrestling Tees on other things other than T-shirts, like we talked about, mugs or banners or flags or whatever the hell we're doing. I was like, please make me let's make some BWO banners and flags and stuff like that. Because that would go great on my wall in the background here. And get a Pod Squad. We got a Pod Squad banner over there. Oh yeah,
exclusively for the Patreon folks. Some really cool shit, man. Did we put the jackets up? I don't know if
jackets are up. We haven't. We're still putting so much stuff up and organizing it that we haven't put out a blast yet of exactly what we have. But no, it's there if they want to get it.
Yeah, it's so cool. There's a lot of stuff I'm going to be getting just for myself because it's stylish and I love the logo. Shout out to Slichter, man. He took that old school ECW Circle logo and made a Mind of the Meanie logo.
It's so cool.
Dude, that's the thing. You sucker punch me with some of these designs, and I just pop immediately. I'm just like, it's like like I said, it's one of the favorite parts of my day because it's so unexpected, something we didn't ask for, but it just ta-da, there it is, and I pop every single time. And
hopefully people will just will enjoy that again. And I'm not gonna beat everybody over the head with it, but if you're listening and you're on the fence about some stuff. $3. Try us out for 1 month for $3 on Patreon. You're never gonna want to quit. But also that's kind of like a hack to get these. We shouldn't say we want you to stay, and you're not going to want to quit. And we feel confident that for $3 or $5, you'll be very happy with what you get. But you can always go on if we put out on social media like one of those jackets, and you go, listen, I don't want to do a monthly $5 a month, but I want that jacket. Well. Go get that jacket. It's sign up for $3 and then go get that jacket. So all it's costing you is $3 extra more than it would otherwise, and then cancel if you don't want. Now you got the jacket. There's your hack.
We're so honest and transparent. We're like, just fucking cancel.
We're terrible.
I dare you.
Yes, we are terrible salespeople. We just want you to like us.
If you had the fucking balls, you'd fucking cancel right now.
Yeah,
man.
Come on, seriously. I have no respect for any of you who are still Patreon members by the time this is done.
Why are you putting yourself through this? What are you, a fucking sadist?
Yeah, just spend $3, buy every last bit of merchandise we have on there, and cancel. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I
hope to have this energy. So here's okay. So I never go to bed as early as I try to. But we get my newborn down around 9:30.
Put him down,
and we try. Yeah, no, we down on the ground, and then he
just
rises back up.
Take her out.
No, and just but I'm trying to get to bed at 10 o'clock, right? Because my kids are up at 6, and I'm trying, and I'm never asleep at 10 o'clock. I'm asleep at 2, but it is not easy to stay up late these days.
No.
So I think if nothing else, this alternative commentary thing going on at starting at 7, I hear it's going to be a 4-hour long pay-per-view. You're going to see a lot of yawning on Fight TV. You check that out. I'm going to try my best, but I'm actually hoping that I go from maybe hour 2, I'm a little tired, and by hour 3, I'm delirious and creating the best content I've ever created. So I'm hoping that's going to happen, but
it'll be like that part of the concert when Jimi Hendrix's LSD kicks in his headband. Because Jimi Hendrix put LSD in his headband, so when he starts sweating, it would fucking go into his pores, and he just hour 3, that'll be like the LSD hour. We're just we're we're burning our laptops and fucking smashing them, and
Oh man, yeah. No, that's a great idea. I should definitely take drugs before we do this.
I'll pop some edibles. Fuck it. I got a thing of fucking chocolate edibles in my fucking fridge. I haven't touched yet.
Oh my God. You know what? Yeah, let's see how the show's going. If I send you a text and go like, dude, this is dragging.
I'm going to do the, I forget what show that it was, where they just took Polaroids of themselves in standstill position and then just put it up to the camera so that it looked like they were still there. And you just see me run into the fucking bathroom like, oh my God,
can I
take
tell
it
you,
home.
I thought about doing something like that. So I've been, in my real life, I have a real estate license, and every 2 years you have to renew your license. And I would always just go and sit in the class and get some work done, because you have to take these classes that don't even apply to you. Like I work in commercial real estate, and you have to take classes for residential, like whatever. And, it doesn't apply, but there's only so many classes they offer, and you have to take X number of hours to renew your license every 2 years. So I would just go and I'd set up my laptop and I would just sit and do some work for, my shoot job, as Mike Weber likes to say, or, or do stuff, for whatever I was working on at the time, editing wise or whatever. So I would do stuff like that. This go around, I was not going to be able to sit in class. So it was on Zoom, which on one end, way easier. Instead of 2 7-hour days, it's spread out. I have one more next week that I have to do, but I sit in there for like 4 hours but I have to be on Zoom. And one of the things is your video has to be on the entire time for you to be able to get your credits.
I see where this is going.
So I'm like, no, my thought was like, I need to figure out how to like just put up, because you can put up on Zoom a background.
Right.
So I could actually put up a screenshot of me looking at the camera and then just leave if I wanted to.
Right.
Now, some of the classes actually were very interesting, and I paid attention. But there was a class.
Smart.
What's that?
That's so smart. You take a still of yourself and make it your background, just fucking leave, where you're just like.
So I didn't do it, but I thought about it.
That motherfucker hasn't blinked for 5 minutes. Was he a lizard person?
So I ended up actually being able to get some work done.
Are you Q?
I was able to get some work done on the computer, because what I realized was, to them, it looks like I'm staring at my screen for the class, and I was able to just kind of listen to it like a podcast while I got some work done. So it ended up working out fine. But yeah, but that's a life hack for anybody who has to do a Zoom meeting.
That's amazing.
Take a screenshot of yourself and put it up there, and don't blame me when you get fired or don't get your license renewal or whatever it is. So
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, man. Hey, you were talking about some edibles or whatever, but if you want to have like a nice drink, man, do we have the book for you.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, listen. If you enjoy the cocktails of Walt Disney World, you need Bibbidi Boozidi Book, written by Guy Hutchinson, the host of Drunk on Disney. Bibbidi Boozidi Book will give you recipes for dozens of Disney-themed cocktails. Plus, this book features toasts to many of the unsung heroes of Disney history, like Vera Waldron, who saved Disneyland from a sniper. I didn't know that. And Dorothy... No. And Dorothy Brockberg, who saved Minnie Moo from the slaughterhouse. Get Bibbidi Boozidi Book on Kindle or paperback at Amazon, and then raise your Lapoo to the real man named Lapoo. And a fun fact about this book, Leva Bates from AEW, who actually wrote a blurb for the back cover, was actually seen on the December 4th AEW Dark reading the book on the apron while she was tagging with Nyla Rose, who refused to tag her in, which really worked out for Bates because she got to continue to read this book. She also had it on Being the Elite a few times. So Guy Hutchinson, great guy, and actually does some color commentary for FSCW. He's the author of not just this book, but there's another book. It's like the history of Sesame Place. So funny thing, I actually bought that book for my wife last year. An awesome book that he's a co-author of. So this one, I've had the opportunity to kind of flip through this book so far. It's kind of the cool thing too. If you're not a reader, that's great. You can read whenever you want these little blurbs about things, a history lesson. But at the same time, you're getting all of these amazing recipes. My wife went through 9 months of not being able to have a drink. So I am working hard on learning how to craft some of these great drinks, because my plan is to be able to just surprise her with drink after drink after drink, and Disney themed drinks at that. Just an awesome book. Again, you can find it's Bibbidi Boozity Book is what it's called, and you can get that at Amazon. And what we're gonna do, you'll probably see this now on Monday if you're listening. On our social media, we're gonna actually be putting out a little bit of like a raffle, where Guy is going to send you a free copy of the book, which is awesome of him. That was something he wanted to do for the Pod Squad members, and we're really excited about that. Meanie, how cool is this? Just like, everybody loves a good drink, but to have a drink that comes along with a history lesson and is Disney themed is just awesome for the adult with the kid inside them, right?
Dude, I love a good themed drink, and I love Guy Hutchison. Let me just say that.
Then this is perfect for you.
No, dude, I've known Guy Hutchison. If you got your Twitter right now, open up your Twitter, search out, and go to @GuiHutchison, Guy Hutchinson, and give him a follow. He has such a great social media presence. He's got all this rare knowledge of stuff.
It's GUI, by the way. Just want to say.
I'm sorry?
It sounded like you said GUI.
GUI. See, I have no
GUI.
lips, so
Oh, okay.
guy like a guy and a gal guy. So GUI Hutchison, like I spelled it. Next time we do spelling, you spell it. I have no fucking lips. So
don't make me spell. I was reading it, which is how I was able to tell you.
But no, seriously, Guy's a great dude, man. He's been a friend of mine, but not only a friend, but a supporter of me and Mrs. Meanie for years. I met him at Legends of the Ring convention in Central New Jersey. I can't think of the name right now. But Guy would come up and we would have these wonderful conversations, me, him, and Mrs. Meanie. And eventually I went and did his podcast. He came out to McCusker's and we recorded, and I'm sure half of it was usable, with us drinking. But no, Guy's a great dude, man. Guy's a great guy. I can't sing his praises enough.
Of all the guys I've known, he's the best guy.
He's the most Hutchison of all the guys I know. But
No,
he is
great
the
dude.
Hutchison of guys.
Yeah, really great guy, and I wasn't even trying to be funny there. Great dude, and hopefully one day, you know what I would love if he was able to maybe make a couple of drinks at a live Mind of the Meanie sometime, and not for everybody, just for us, but if he was able to do that, that would be awesome.
He'd be a great guest co-host on here.
I see how it is.
Our theme, the theme of the show is sports, music, movies, and useless knowledge. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say his knowledge is useless, but he knows a lot of stuff that like you just said with the the saving Disney from a sniper and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, who knew? And just to have him, I'd love to have him come on here and just talk about so many cool different things. The other day, I tweeted at him because here in South Philly, Blockbuster Video is like no more here. There's like maybe 2 in the world, but in South Philly on Passyunk Avenue, right where Passyunk and Oregon meet, there's like this huge pole, and it's got the Blockbuster sign on it that they've never taken down. And every time I pass it, I think of Guy Hutchison, because I was like, that's such a Guy Hutchison thing that he would probably. Let me send this photo to Guy, and he replied that he loved it and stuff like that. But if you're like me and you like learning something new, something unique, his that's the perfect thing to say. His knowledge is very unique to Guy, and he's such a great follow. And I know him and Leva Bates have co-hosted at comic book conventions and all that stuff like that. So they're they were like a perfect hosting couple.
And she's super cool. Has always gone out of her way to compliment my ties when she sees me, which I really like.
We made her a member of the BWO. Yeah, because she was Blue Pants.
Well, yes.
So we were at Legends Convention, and Leva Bates was there. I was like, "Come on over," and we all took a photo together. We gave her I gave her a BWO shirt, and we took a photo. She, because like the BWO likes to branch out. We had the BWO Japan. We never had somebody to represent the women's division, so why not Leva Bates? She's one of the best wrestlers out there. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Am I still your bish?
Yeah, you're still our bish.
Thank you.
So,
but no, as far as Guy Hutchinson goes, the one thing that I can say, like I said, I've had the opportunity to flip through and look at some of these recipes for these drinks, and I mean, it sounds pretty amazing to me, and I can't wait to make them myself. But I have read that Sesame Place book that he did, and it's just he has a take on history of these, like we're talking about the sniper and the saving Minnie Moo from the slaughterhouse. It's these are he has an ability to kind of find these stories and put them in a very interesting way. And I remember when I read the Sesame Place one, I went there as a kid, and then decades went by before I went back there with my kids. And it's totally different than it was when I was a kid. But you look around, you go, man, I wonder where this was. I wonder where that was. That book tells you everything. So I love that book. I love what I've read so far with this new book. And again, go to Amazon and find it now. You can get on Kindle or paperback at Amazon. Bibbidi Boozity book. Can't say enough great things about that. And Guy Hutchinson. We thank him for all of the support of Mind of the Meanie and us. So just go check that out right now.
Yeah, man. If we're still in the ad or not, I got to say, and you just stirred a thought that I got to recommend to him to do a book on Storybook Land. Have you ever been to Storybook Land?
I have not.
Dude, Storybook Land is like halfway between Philly and Atlantic City, kind of. And like they have all these like different rides and attractions. They have like,
how do I know
the story. What's that?
I don't know how I don't know about this.
Yeah, the story. There was an old lady who lives in a shoe.
Yeah,
they have like a replica, like a shoe of like that story and stuff like. It's called Storybook Land. So every kind of story they have.
And is this like this is a kid's place?
It's a kid's place. It's not huge. Okay. But I remember when I was a kid, we would go on class trips to there. I lived in Gloucester till I was 10, and
so this is the thing. This is like celebrated like a centennial and stuff like that at this point. This place.
I mean, it's. I think it's open year round, but
I was calling you old.
Oh,
sorry, dude. I got something for you.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I got to send you. I just got a message.
Okay. God.
Punching Daylight Coffee. Available now. It's been created. Andy, you are a machine. How weird is it too that he sent me a message and I get to reply to him how much I like that here on the show?
I have no words. Show me. Let me see that again. And this is another reason why to get on Patreon.
Because you're seeing this right now.
Oh my God. Yeah, we gotta make it look like a label or something like that, like a Folgers label or something like that.
Yeah.
Punching Daylight Coffee. Oh my God.
Oh, maybe like put it like it's a label on like the coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. I might, I might be able to take this. Andy, we're gonna have to work together maybe on this because I've got all those like how I made the seltzer things. I might be able to actually just put this on like a bag, look like it's on a real coffee bag.
Yeah, or
without you having to do any more work. Nah, dude, you're awesome.
Dude, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so cool.
We're what's that word? Collaborating
on
the air.
Yeah.
So
collaborating on the air. We talk.
See, I can't talk.
Dude, I'm loving this live thing, going live.
You know what? I feel like I have to be a little bit more on.
Yeah.
Than you. Like before, I've. The one thing I'll watch myself.
Before I was phoning this shit in, but now.
No, seriously, I try not to watch interviews I've done, but like if I hear myself talking back, I hear myself do the and I just want to punch myself right in the fucking head. It's like, get your thought out, Heffron. But no, seriously, I feel a little bit like that urgency of being on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know we're recording for Monday, but we got folks there in Patreon land watching us, and you know, like I said, we'll be ready and willing and sort of able Sunday with alternative commentary. And now that you told me it's 4 hours long,
that's what I'm hearing. Hey, we're entering the Thunderdome, man.
Yeah, we're good for 3 hours. We know that.
Yep.
You know,
fourth hour is going to be a clusterfuck, but you don't know which of those hours it's going to be.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Tune in. You're going to get 3 amazing hours of alternative commentary and 1 horrible hour. Can't promise which hour it's going to be. Will it even be on the hour? You know, will it start at like 2 hours and 36 minutes in until 3 hours and 36 minutes? It's just terrible. And the rest of it's incredible. But we promise you, you will at least get an awful hour out of us.
Yeah, it'll be like around the 3rd hour is going to be like when McGregor fought Mayweather. And Mayweather was just waiting for McGregor to punch himself out before he took him out.
Yep.
So
it's the rope-a-dope of alternative commentary. That's what we're going to be doing here.
Yeah. Oh, son of a bitch. But yeah, man, this has been a lot. This is fun.
This is fun. No, the live thing's kind of cool because like when we got a couple of weeks ago, we got off of our first live recording, and then we called a couple of people, and we were like blown away that like some of the people we're calling were talking about things we had just talked about like a second ago, and we're like, this is so weird. But yeah, so. Yeah. That's that. All right, folks. Join us next time for
hit the end music. But
we're having fun. We're having such a blast, and we thank you guys so much for joining us on whether it's Patreon or just checking us out the normal way. Make sure to go over, if you would, to iTunes. Or Apple Podcasts or whatever the hell. I need to find out what this thing's actually called. I still call it iTunes. But you got to go to it, and you have to leave us a review and give us that 5-star rating if you think that we've deserved it. If you think we haven't deserved a 5-star rating, do us a favor and just don't give us a rating. That would be helpful. But yeah, we need some more reviews. We got some great ratings coming. We need more reviews. So while we're talking now, I'm going to check that out just to see if we've got anything new that we can read. Jonathan Chambers writes, can't wait for the craziness that will be the alternative commentary. Well,
we're going to try and make
because that's what you're getting.
Yeah, we're going to try to make it unique as possible. Much like our shows, we have nothing planned.
Yep.
No gimmicks, no
we have
zany thing.
We have even less plan. Like I said this before, we have even less plan. I'm sorry to cut you off there.
No.
But not so sorry that I stopped. No, we have even less plan because we have WWE booking this night for us. We have no idea we know what the matches are, I guess.
Maybe I can book some stuff on air for them that they can use in a couple more months or something like that. Like, dude, I took a screenshot of when I proposed. I didn't even call it the Thunderdome, but I tweeted, hey, wouldn't it be cool to have, people on the video wall, Zoom calls, have a lottery for it, blah, 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 blah. So I went and found that thing, and I did a screen cap. I posted a screen cap. I was like, hey, remember that time I booked the Thunderdome, pitched the Thunderdome thing? That was fun. And I posted it on Instagram, and then Al Snow reminded me that I came up with the character for Val Venus for, Danny Doring.
Yeah, and, you had mentioned that on the show already.
Yeah. We were at the Wonderland dog park, dog, where they had the races and stuff like that, and me and Al were watching. Me and Al would watch Danny Doring's matches and stuff like that, and we're just like going back and forth. We're like, man, he looks so sleazy. Like he could be like an ex-porn star or something like that, and be like, hey, you might know me from my feature film Schindler's Fist or something like that. His finisher could be the money shot, and we're coming up with all this stuff, right? So after this match, we called Danny over, we pitched to him, he's popped before, and we call Paul over. We're like, hey, Paul, listen to this. And we pitched, he's like, yeah, he can be a former porn star. He comes out with a little hand rag called a spunk towel or whatever, and then his finisher could be the money shot and all this. And we're giving him all these ideas, and Paulie goes, that is great. You just came up with a great character. And he shook our hands like, congratulations, you just came up with a really good character, blah, blah, blah. 2 months later, hello, ladies.
Congratulations.
Son
this is
of
going to be
bitch.
very helpful in my next meeting with the WWF.
Yeah, because, as we came to know, Paul was in on some of those creative meetings back during the Monday Night War era. And, Vince Russo watched our show religiously, too, which is, how I got, taken up to WWE from ECW because they were expanding the rosters from they were doing Monday Night Raw, and then they were going to do Sunday Night Heat, so they needed more talent. And, they recruited me for that. But, man, when he did the hell, Val Venus comes out with this porn star character. Me and Al were, back in the day, AOL Instant Messenger. And I was like, do you see this shit? And he's just like, unbelievable.
Wow.
But yeah, I posted that screen cap on my Instagram. Go to Instagram.com/Blue Meanie BWO. And you can see that in the comments. And I was, remember when you created Val Venus? So during alternative commentary, I'm just going to give out alternative booking ideas.
Yeah. Just throw out some new gimmicks for people.
Yeah,
repackage this guy as whatever,
Yeah, man. Why
That'll
not?
Be fun.
Let's have fun. Let's get drunk.
Yeah. Dude, I'll be 3 seltzers deep by then.
3.5 hours in, I will have on a lampshade, and Mrs. Meanie will have her uke out, and we'll just be fucking singing songs. It'll be fucking great.
Oh man, I'm gonna bring my guitar down.
What's that?
I'll bring my guitar down with me so I can.
We can jam. It'll be like when Puffy and Jimmy Page got together to do "Come With Me" for the Godzilla soundtrack. Except we won't have to rent a satellite. We'll just have Zoom. Think of all the money Puffy could have saved. If he had waited 20 years to cover Kashmir.
Yeah. Remember the band, the Postal Service?
No.
You don't know them? They
if I heard them, maybe, yeah.
I'm not going to play it because we'll get kicked off. But
are they that over that we'll get kicked off for them?
They need that. Well, you can't Google.
Sorry, we only kick you over for bands who are over. No, so, all right,
so the Postal. So I just want to be. I'm looking them up because I want to be clear on exactly, who they were. Let's see. I mean, I know them. For me, I really know them from the song "Such Great Heights." But
are they like a plain white T-shirts type band?
No. What? Plain white. Plain white.
You know that song, "Hey There, Delilah"?
No, they're not that. They're indie pop. So like you're indie-tronica. You're kind of.
They're on like 104.5.
So it was I'm trying to think because I know Death Cab for Cutie, and then I'm trying to think who the other. So it was one of the people from.
Seltzer Bongs for Meanie. That'll be a band.
Okay, so here's the thing. The band's name was chosen due to the way in which it produced its songs. Due to conflicting schedules, Tamborello wrote and performed instrumental tracks and then sent those tracks to Gibbard through the United States Postal Service, who then edited the song as he saw fit, adding his vocals along the way, and then sent them back. And that is why they were called the Postal Service.
That's pretty cool. That's kind of like how Pearl Jam was formed.
Yeah?
Little history lesson for those who don't know. Pearl Jam used to be like Stone Gossard and Jeff Ament for Pearl Jam were in a band called Mother Love Bone, and their singer Andy Wood had passed away, so they're like, floundering and looking, maybe to start something new, and they were smarting up to this bright-eyed kid in San Diego named Eddie Vedder, and they sent him like a couple rough tracks on a audio cassette. and he recorded lyrics over and sent them back. And those, like, I mean, a couple of those songs became like the biggest hits on Pearl Jam's 10 record. So, the Postal Service is very useful as we're becoming very aware.
Yes.
In these,
however,
times.
they're also the Postal Service they can be sons of bitches, because in August 2003, the United States Postal Service sent the band a cease and desist letter citing the band's name as an infringement of its trademark on the phrase Postal Service. After negotiations, the USPS relented, allowing the band use of the trademark in exchange for promotional efforts on behalf of the USPS and a performance at its annual National Executive Conference.
Son of a bitch.
Additionally, the post office website sold the band CDs, and in 2007, Such Great Heights appeared in the background of the whiteboard advertising campaign for one of the federal establishment's private competitors, the United Parcel Service. Yikes! That's some Monday Night Wars shit there.
Yeah, not to be confused with the Alan Parsons Project.
Yeah. But I knew that song, Such Great Heights, was something that my old band covered back in the day.
Yeah, you're a rocker too, man. That's
well, my kids asked
we should talk more about music.
Yeah.
I feel.
Well, my kids asked to see some of my old stuff, so I found them some old videos, and now they have been singing at the top of their lungs like one of my songs that and they're like, play it on your album. And I'm like, I wrote this after my album. Like I didn't have, it was fun though to hear the kids like sing, and none of the lyrics are right when they're singing it, but they're really like trying their best.
Remix.
Yeah. So no, it's a lot of fun, but it's, my that's actually how I met my wife.
Really?
She came with a friend, to one of my shows. It was a mutual friend of ours. And
was it Bill Hapter?
Yeah. Oh, who we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Off air. Bill actually knew my wife before I did. Something he's mentioned a lot. But yeah. So what was I going to say? I was deciding what I wanted to say.
A mutual friend brought
so he
your
knew,
wife.
Yeah, so I will say real quickly. So Bill knew her and her ex, and so when I first, I'm not even going to say her ex's real name because I'm not putting him over. So let's call him Joe, right?
Right.
So when I saw Bill, I was over at his house for something, and I was like, oh, by the way, my girlfriend says that she knows you, because when I first started dating her and I'm telling her a little bit about my wrestling history, and figured I'd scare her off right off the bat, and she's like, oh, I know somebody from wrestling. Do you know who Bill Apter is? I was like, yeah, I've known Bill since I was like 9 years old. So again, we'll call this guy Joe. And he's just like, oh my God, wow, I can't believe that you know Michelle, that's my wife's name. You know Michelle? And I'm like, yeah, she's my girlfriend now. Like, wow, Michelle from Michelle and Joe? Wow. And I was like, yeah. And he just kept going, I can't believe you're dating Michelle and Joe. And I'm like, well, I'm only dating one of them. And he just kept going, wow, Michelle and Joe. I'm like, I prefer Michelle and Josh. That's just me, not an overly jealous guy, but and so yes, that was that. I love you, Bill. They came to my show, and I was playing. Actually, one of the guitarists with me was my good friend Dave Sagan, who is a professional wrestler now out in Texas, and he was playing guitar with me that night. We had a drummer who was the Drizzling Shits. He was like sitting in for it was the only show he ever did with us. And he was all right in rehearsal. And I'm like, all right, this will be fine. And I don't think he had ever played in front of an audience before. And he got up there and he got the jitters, and it was not good. But anyway, so that was it. I was playing music, and she came to the show, and it was the end of a whole, it was in October. So I think I'd been doing like a tour since May. So by the end of it, my voice was like totally shot.
What was the band's name?
Well, this was just me playing.
Oh, okay, cool.
Under a different name, and I'm not going to say what it was.
If that is your real name.
Yeah.
Shernoff?
But yeah, so no, I wasn't using the Shernoff name, which is funny.
Okay.
I was using, I can say it was Josh Harris. My middle name's Harris, and so I was using that, and which is funny because there's like this electronica Josh Harris guy, and like any of my music would be like, if you went into it, it would be like my album and then like 17 electronica albums. But it was really, the music, my wife always tells me she hates how my album was put together, because it was really like, my music was like Bare Naked Ladies style, and it was just an acoustic guitar and doing
Which
my
isn't
stuff.
bad.
No, it was great.
Great
Oh,
band.
no, that stuff was great. The producer I was working with, he was a Grammy-winning producer. I wasn't going to argue with him. And we did that album, and he made it very poppy.
Gotcha.
Which was not nothing against pop music. It's popular. It's, people like it. But it took all of like it took everything out of it, and it just kind of, it just didn't have the raw feel. So I always loved the live stuff that I was doing. But yeah, so I that was the band. My band in high school and college, and after a little bit afterwards, we were called the Moaning Lisas. And that was a good time.
That sounds like they could have been a band in Wayne's World when they go to Meatloaf and they ask for the name of the bands at the door.
Yeah.
We have Crucial Taunt, the Shitty Beatles, and the Moaning Lisas.
Yep. That was,
great.
we legitimately were trying to come up with names, and we couldn't come up with anything. And we were driving down the shore one summer, and it was the summer that we formed the band. And we're driving down, and I saw a billboard with like, it was something, it had the Mona Lisa on it. And I was like,
That's how Sandman got his name.
well, he was like a surfer guy, right? That was his gimmick.
Right, but it was either him. I don't know the exact story, but either him or Joel Goodhart were driving up 95, and there was a billboard for Mr. Sandman mattresses. Mattress Factory. It's like, Sandman, that'd be a great name for a wrestler, and pitched it, the hack, and they just turned it into a surfer gimmick.
Yeah.
So it was either Sandman or Joel Goodhart saw it on a billboard on 95 in Philly on the way to the TWA, which was the precursor to ECW, had their own wrestling school. Stevie Richards trained there, JT Smith trained there, Hack trained there, a bunch of guys. I think Larry Winters was one of the trainers. Shout out to Larry Winters, awesome dude, no longer with us, rest in peace.
I do want to say something about Joel Goodhart, though. I'm almost positive Dave Sagan, who I mentioned, who's a wrestler out in Texas now, who was my guitar player that night. I think Joel Goodhart's like his uncle or something.
That's cool.
I'm going to have to ask Dave about that, because there's definitely been times where he's like mentioned, I think they're in some form or another related or something like that. But
I like Goodhart, man. I try to give him praise every time I sing or anything that comes up ECW related or pre-ECW.
Yeah, because he kind of gets left out of the conversation a lot.
Dude, like, there wouldn't be an ECW without the Tri-State Wrestling Alliance. Yeah. Todd Gordon was involved with the TWA, and then when TWA closed for whatever reason, I know the reason, but I'm not going to go too deep. Todd Gordon was sitting around. It was Todd Gordon, Bob and Lex Ortiz, Larry Winters, awesome guy. They're just sitting around, like, there's this void in the Philly wrestling scene. I mean, there was Dennis Corlews over in Jersey running great shows and stuff like that. They're like, let's bring something back. And, that's where, in Todd Gordon's office, those four, they were like the founding members of ECW. And for whatever reason, just came down to, Todd, and then Todd to Paul and Todd, and then just Paul. But
and then to Vince McMahon, and that was the highest of highs for ECW. My favorite ECW champion of all time, Bobby Lashley.
Absolutely. I love belts, but that was the worst.
Oh, it was horrible.
That looks like something you would serve up a Thanksgiving turkey on. It was like a fucking silver platter.
speaking of belts, man, this episode's all over the place, and I'm having such a blast.
Yeah, same here.
And we haven't lost any people who
Yeah,
are
how's the
alive.
room doing? Asking.
Yeah, how are you guys doing? Are you still?
I can't see it, so he's my interpreter.
A while ago, James Sorensen said, "This is ridiculously awesome. I'm on my couch watching on my TV, laughing my butt off. It's totally worth it." Which, first of all, thank you, and secondly, I hope you're still having fun.
I'd laugh my ass off if I had.
He was like, "This was good." Then Josh started talking about his short-lived music career. Click.
Next on Behind the Music.
Yeah. But yeah, so, funny thing, I do want to just kind of put a bow on that story before I talk about belts. On that story about meeting my wife. So the funny thing, if you ever feel like a big shot, I met her at the end of the night, afterwards I'm like thanking people who came or whatever. And this is my friend, Michelle. I'm like, hey, nice to meet you, whatever. So a month later, the mutual friend, it's his wife's birthday. And we're down in Manayunk, at a bar there. And
Was
this
it
is actually
Grape
a
Street?
funny story. I'll tell you.
Were you at the Grape Street?
Was it Grape? I think it was Grape Street. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, where else were we going? Almost sure. Well, I think it was Grape Street. But anyway.
Yeah. Sorry.
So we walk into the bar there,
Mm-hmm.
and I walk in with a buddy of mine who's also a friend, and we're going down there, and it is silent. There is no music,
Mm-hmm.
and it is jam packed, and no one is talking, and we're like, this is fucking weird. Like we're like, this is really, really bizarre.
Right.
We're like sitting there and we're like having conversation, but like really quietly, because like if you're in a room and you're the only one talking, everyone can hear what you're saying. We realized at one point, I'm looking around, I realized everybody's signing. There was a deaf community party going on.
Wow.
So they're deaf. Why are you playing music? Right? You wouldn't play music. So of course there's no music playing. They're deaf. They're all signing to each other. Of course I'm not hearing anyone talking. But for the first literally 20 minutes, because we got there early before anyone else showed up, we're like sitting there going, what the hell is happening here? This is really bizarre. Once everyone started showing up, they put music on, things were going on. So then I see this girl across the room. I say to my buddy, I'm like, I am going to go talk to this young lady. I don't know, what her deal is. I'm like, whatever. Shoot my shot, right? I go up to her, I go,
100%
hi.
of the shots you don't take, so go ahead.
Michael Scott. I go up to her and I say, hi, I'm Josh. And she goes, I know, we've met. And I'm thinking to myself, I have never met this girl. I don't know who this person is. What are you talking about? She's like, I was at your show. I was there with whatever. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. So things didn't start out great. But I won her over somehow. So that's the bow on that story. I thought it was kind of fun. Welcome to my personal life, everybody.
Dude, I went to the last time I saw the Foo Fighters over in Camden.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to leave during the show, but I drank so much I had to run to the bathroom real quick. And on my way, there was the Foo Fighters have a section for people who are deaf, and they're dancing along, doing the sign language and stuff like that, which was a pretty cool thing to see. Just to watch people enjoy it. People, whether you.
I thought I'd have some knockoff Foo Fighters in the background.
Why not, man? This is my favorite non-Foo Fighters song. This is such a fucking Foo Fighters song.
Yeah.
How is it not Foo Fighters? So, we went to, I was halfway through the show, I was like, I gotta take a piss. So I ran to take a piss break and buy a shirt and on my way back. And I really didn't miss much, but the coolest, I'm kind of glad I did take that piss break because I saw the coolest thing ever. Somebody just dancing around, and I know this is kind of offensive to, people who sign language and stuff, but this, I'm just trying to describe what I saw.
Sure.
A guy just bopping around doing sign language and somebody watching and enjoying it and stuff like that. So it's cool when you see a little nugget like that. That's really cool to see.
I wonder how. I would love to know how that.
I think
works.
You can feel the vibrations.
Yeah.
Your senses your other senses pick up.
Yeah,
I believe.
maybe they can hear like maybe they're able to hear like a little bit of it or something, or
Right.
You know.
But I think you do feel like the vibration of the music, whether it's the bass, the drums, or whatever. Stuff like
They appreciate the lyrics, like it's a poem, right? Like,
yeah.
So that's really interesting, though.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying that's really interesting.
There's a super fan here in Philly named Jerry, and I know you know who this guy is. Like a 6'2" black guy who dresses like Hulk Hogan.
No, I don't know who
I
this guy
swear
is.
to God. He goes to all the conventions. He goes to all the shows. Every day of his life, he's dressed like Hulk Hogan. He wears.
I can think of one day that was probably pretty awkward for him.
He bleaches his hair. He bleaches his mustache, long blonde hair that he grows out. He wears yellow or red pants, yellow red shoes. Wears a Hulkamania shirt.
Wow.
And for the longest time, what's that?
Wow.
He would come to 3PW shows, and
Okay.
he would do this amazing cosplay. Like he would be I say every day he dressed like Hulk Hogan, but he did other cosplay too. He would come as Kane.
Okay.
He would come as like the Hurricane, Shane Helms. Well, it turns out that he's deaf, but he comes to the shows and stuff like that. So every time I see him, we talk. He talks to me, but like we'll get a piece of paper and jot things down and stuff like that. But the cool, like I'm talking about cool moments. We were at the Icons Wrestling Convention at the ECW Arena, and of course Jerry comes along because he's a super fan. He goes to everything, and he goes over. He comes over to me, gives me a hug. Every time I see Jerry, we do he gives me a hug, does the Meanie dance, and we talk back and forth on a piece of paper, stuff like that. But I watched for me and Mrs. Meanie, because actually Mrs. Meanie pointed this out to me. Now I'm thinking about it. He goes over to the Rock and Roll Express table. Well, Robert Gibson's parents were deaf, and Robert Gibson knows sign language.
Oh wow.
So I'm sitting there, and Mrs. Meanie hits me on the arm. Look. And Jerry and Robert Gibson are going back and forth with sign language.
That's awesome. That's got to be. That had to have been such an awesome moment for that guy.
It was a really cool thing, a really beautiful thing to see. Like Mrs. Meanie always, talks about, it's like if there's a hearing impaired child who meets Santa Claus, and Santa Claus, the Santa Claus knows sign language and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Something beautiful. And you see
that'll bring a tear to a glass eye.
Yeah, dude, seriously. So you were talking about how you went to the club and everybody in the room was deaf, hearing impaired. It just reminded me of Jerry, the super fan. And here's another cool thing. It doesn't get better than seeing Jerry actually get to finally talk to somebody who knows sign language,
right?
Like that's a wrestler and stuff. There's a local like Facebook group for the Philadelphia Police Department, and they had like an APB out for Jerry, and we're like, oh my God, what the hell's this? And they had a photo of Jerry as Hulk Hogan, but NWO Hogan. They're like, he's turned heel. We need to find Jerry. We got an APB out for Jerry. He's now wearing the black and white. He has turned heel. The Philadelphia Police Department put this out that Jerry turned heel, and it's still on there. I'll have to find it. I'll send you a screen cap. But it was like the coolest fucking thing ever.
That's amazing.
Like if you're a CZW fan, you're a Philly wrestling fan, you know Jerry. You don't know his name's Jerry, but his name's Jerry.
You do now.
Yeah, he works at a local college, something like that. And a lot of the boys like him. One of the saddest thing is if WWE's in town, I can't go. I could go, but I can't sit in the crowd because
you and me
I feel
both.
I feel like I would be a distraction kind of thing. Like something will happen in the ring, and I'm sure somebody be waiting for me to do a fucking run-in or something like that.
Yeah.
Meanie, go help him. And I'm like, I don't work here. I'll get arrested.
Yeah.
But I'll get Mrs. Meanie tickets, and I'll get Mrs. Meanie tickets for Raw or SmackDown, whatever's in town. And we call it the Wives Club. Donnie's wife Bev and my friend Albert's wife Michelle, who spitting. Michelle looks like she has Stevie Nicks hair. Like she's a big Stevie Nicks fan. So she's like Stevie. Every time I see her, I think it's Stevie Nicks. So the Wives Club of Mrs. Meanie, Bev, and Michelle will go down to watch Raw. And one time, Mrs. Meanie was in a crowd, and she saw Jerry walking the perimeter of the floor, and all the fans were popping for him, like behind him and cheering for him, but he didn't know.
Oh.
So he couldn't like turn around and do the, strike a pose.
Yeah.
And rah, rah. Yeah, I wish Mrs. Meanie was like, I was about to run down there and just tap him on the shoulder and tell him to turn around or something like that. Like, it was like heartbreaking.
Yeah.
He was getting this pop, for being Hulk Hogan walking around. He's got the fucking belt too. He's got the big gold and everything. I got a photo of me and Jerry in Dunkin' Donuts. He's dressed as Hulk Hogan. He's got the big gold, and we're both doing the fucking Hogan fucking pose awesome. In Dunkin' Donuts. I made the cashier take our fucking photo.
That's awesome.
It's like, take a photo. So shout out to super fan Jerry. Like if you've been to a show in Philly, you see a 6'2" African American dude dressed like Hulk Hogan. That's Jerry. So he's one of my favorite people to see around town, because like there's always like a Jerry sighting. I'll be driving through Center City. Oh, there's fucking Jerry. And can't stop. But
here's what everybody should do, and I mean this sincerely. Anyone who's going to go to a WWE show who's listening to this, and obviously you've got time to do this because it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Learn something like "Hey Jerry" in sign language.
Yeah.
And then also learn that's the only sign language I know, so he doesn't engage in that. Yeah. But like that would be kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like but man, Mrs. Meanie better get used to watching that show from home, because, when you used to send her because you couldn't go because you'd be a distraction. Mrs. Meanie is over.
Oh, yeah.
So I think Mrs. Meanie is going to be recognizable, and that's it. She'll be signing autographs the whole time.
She's more over than I am. So,
yep.
But
like, Mrs. Meanie from that show with that blue guy and someone else.
Those fellas.
Mrs. Meanie, we really appreciate how you don't waste 3.5 hours of our time. Hey, somebody made a comment. We had a great conversation about it. No heat, no anything like that, But someone made a comment about how it's a little tough with our episodes. As a Pod Squad member, loves I don't believe an official Pod Squad member, but a true Pod Squad member nonetheless. But he basically said about how he loves our show. It's incredibly entertaining, but it's tough for him sometimes to get through 3+ hours. And we talked about it and everything. What we said was like, we don't plan, we just talk, because that's what this is. That's what this show, is. It's us just having a good time, and we hope you'll enjoy it. And realistically speaking, so I've been working to clean up my basement, okay? We've been talking about how we're doing that. I have been listening to the same episode of Grilling JR for, I want to say, like a week now. Every day I go down for, if I'm down there, I can't always have it on. So sometimes I'm down there for a half hour doing something, and I'm listening to that. And then I'm down there the next day and I'm listening to it. To me, I love when I see a show is super long, because I know, good, my week is taken care of. Any driving I'm going to be doing, any work I have to do out in the yard with my headphones on, like I know I'm good. I don't have to go searching to listen to something. So, look, we're not trying to upset anybody by going too long, but I don't think there is a too long. It's our show. This is it. We're just going to talk. We've been going for
apocalypse.
Yeah, we're going for
where else are we going?
Yeah, we're going for an hour and a half now. Could we wrap it up now? We could, but we got a lot more to talk about, I'm sure.
We got to do a fucking April Fool's show where it's like the opening theme and closing theme, and that's it for the fucking week.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Complain about that.
This is episode 22. We've been doing this for 22 episodes, which is amazing. We got some Jonathan Chambers popped up. For the record, I have no problem with the 3-hour podcast. Either one long listen or an hour daily on the way to work. Thank you. I apologize for not being able to read. Hey man, thank you. And that's what we're trying to do. Like, look, pause us. It's fine. Fast forward us if you if you feel like you want to.
I said this for the millionth time, but somebody had the great line of people go to a buffet and they think it's a command.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you don't have to eat everything all at once.
Yeah.
You can have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then, call it a day. So, like Jericho's got a great podcast, and he does like hour and a half. He does 2 shows that are like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
That's about 3 hours. So, listen an hour and a half, one day, an hour and a half. Not. It's like, look, we don't try to go 3 hours. It just happens.
We really don't. And we're going to get there no matter what. Hey, I was starting to say before I cut myself off with something else that I was starting to say before I had cut myself off with something else.
You raked your own eyes?
Yeah. So I told my wife the other day, I was talking about your belt, your BWO belt by Wildcat Belts. So Matt Cardona, he redid his like room or something. So now he's got like all his belts on display, and he's got like a belt from his backyard wrestling federation. He had Wildcat belts, make him a belt for that. Yeah. He's got 2 internet titles, his old one, his new one. And then he's also got the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast title. And then he just put on social media, he's got, I think it's called the Interstate Championship, which is for the, his figure wrestling federation that they do for their like Patreon and stuff. And the belt is amazing. The belt's like one of the nicest looking belts out there right now, and it's a make believe belt for a wrestling figure company. Right. But I told her, I said, listen, I just want to give you the heads up. I am going to, I don't know when.
I'm giving you the Iggy.
Yeah, giving you the old Iggy right now. A little squeeze right quick, because I am going to get I'm going to get some belts, and I'm trying to find. And I think we may have talked. What? Kind of. I mean, it was like the half eye roll, kind of the whatever.
Right. Half taker.
Yeah, it was. It was a half taker, and. It was kind of met with that, like, I hope you're making a lot of money off these shows you're doing. If you're planning on buying a belt, because that's where the money's
behind every
from.
great man is a woman rolling her eyes.
Yes, I've just been dreaming of these belts. Like, you've got yours. I want my So Says Shernoff belt that just kind of has little side plate things of Mind of the Meanie and on the ropes and alternative commentary and all these different shows and. All these things that I've been able to do. I want like a belt to kind of commemorate that. But I also want a belt. We've talked about over my shoulder here. We've got, where is it? There it is, the old Teenage Wrestling Foundation Championship. Well, I want like the grown-up version of that. Like I want like an original belt that maybe will have like all the champions that held it, like have their names on it or something. And for me, like I'm a big fan of. It's why I think I collect some of the old action figures and have them on display. We've talked about this before. I like to, when I'm in my office, I like to look around, whether it's pictures of my family or action figures, or I've got a poster on the wall from like an old, that came with a He-Man set. I like to look at these things that bring back good memories, that just remind me of a fun time, fun memory. That is what it's, I don't need a shrine to myself throughout my whole house, but it's not a shrine to myself, because so much of it's too, like I have a shelf that has a couple of different things. It's like newspaper articles that my dad was in when he was acting and one of his old scripts and stuff, and like different things like that. Like I have stuff from people that like matter to me, like different things of their accomplishments as well. I like to see that stuff. It makes me feel good. So the belt to me, not just a piece of art, like you always talk about how it's a piece, it is a piece of art. I want those so I can like look at that and just be like, man, this is what that represents to me, So we'll see what happens.
To the left of me, I have one of those box frames.
Mm-hmm.
And in that frame, I have a shrine to my grandfather. It's my grandfather's travel shirt that he used to always wear, his little Jeff cap, his glasses, and his mask card from his funeral. So it's like
awesome.
like a nice little square thing, and there's a photo of him in his work outfit because he was a security guard at Trump Plaza when they first opened.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. You got your dad's script and all that stuff. I got like my dad's well, he was my dad. My grandfather was my father. I don't care if we, were blood related or not. He raised me like I was his own. But I got the little shrine right here, and then I got over there. I got a shrine to my mom, and I got her urn and stuff like that, and I got something from my grandparents as well.
I just think that it's something
I get it.
that
I get it.
And it's personal stuff, but it's like like I even have it's an old hat that says Shernoff salads on it. It's one of the hats they would give away at or like at when they're going to those conventions and stuff to try and get more. I don't know what the word is, but I have that, and his biggest role that he ever did was I don't know if it was even his biggest, but it was his favorite. Was Tevye from Fiddler on the Roof.
Okay,
and he did that professionally, and so many shows. And that's the script that I have. And I've got the newspaper article from him that has the picture of him in that, and I've got this little Fiddler statue thing there, and it's little things like that. I think that's amazing what you have, the shadow box that you have there.
I don't want to shift my camera. I'll take a quick photo. I'll put it up to the gimmick.
Yeah, because I think that's so cool. And that's it, man. I think there's nothing wrong with forgetting about where you came from, right? Like that's what you're supposed, or not forgetting, I should say. There is something wrong with forgetting about it. There's nothing wrong with not forgetting about where you came from, remembering where you came from.
Trying to get a photo that doesn't have too much reflect, so you can actually see it.
Yeah.
Let's
see how this looks. Join Patreon if you want to see. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's a little shadow box.
That's really cool.
Yeah, he always had this brown collared shirt. And it was always his travel shirt. And it still smells like him, too, which is kind of cool. Brings back good memories and stuff like that. Like, there's certain things I do because my grandfather did it. Like, I always shave with barber saw because he shaved with barber saw. And I always use Right Guard in the silver can because he would buy that, and I'd be in the bathroom. I was like, I use it. So every time I put on Right Guard in the silver can, I think of my grandfather. Yep. And, like, when I smell coffee, like in the winter when we make hot coffee, the smell of coffee being made reminds me of him because he had a coffee pot that you put on the stove and it would percolate and stuff like that. Every morning I wake up, I would smell his coffee. So it's just little things.
Yeah. You're preaching to the choir on that stuff. I think it's awesome.
We're a couple sappy bastards.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? That's these. If you're lucky enough to have family that has that kind of impact on you, then they're the people who made you who you are, and I always believe just because they're gone isn't a reason to sometimes it's awkward when somebody, and this is getting very deep, but sometimes when somebody passes away, it almost becomes this like you kind of like don't mention them anymore, and I've always looked at that and said, so this person is one of the most important people of your life. If you were having a gathering of two people, they were going to be one of those people. This is nothing in your life happens without this person, but they pass away, and now we're supposed to just let's not talk about them, let's not mention them.
Right.
They should be mentioned every day. Just because they passed, they shouldn't be like we don't talk about them. And I understand there's also a healthy aspect of not dwelling on that because, that's something that can get really tough as well. But, to me, that's, my unfortunately, my mantle in my family room is, filled with as the years have gone on, a number of people who are no longer with us, but those pictures aren't going anywhere because they're family. Not taking those pictures down. Those are, and that's it. They're the people who make us. And let's talk about something more fun at that point because people are getting depressed.
I know, right?
Oh man. Hey, you know what we can talk about? What'd you have for lunch today?
Dude, the fine folks over at EatRight.life have been hooking us up, man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Dude, I got my new box yesterday in the mail.
I got mine on Thursday. I got it a day early.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was like a Christmas present.
Yeah.
Dude, seriously, eatright.life makes amazing food. They've been a great sponsor for Mind of DeMeanie. And in this day and age, when you're trying not to go out as much or go to the supermarket as much because of the pandemic and stuff like that, it's so comforting to have food come to your house. Not only is it, food coming to your house, it's quality food.
Absolutely.
That they are giving to you. This is not like a TV dinner. This is not, processed stuff. This is actual, look at you.
Yeah, I'm looking at my thing there, what I had. I had Italian tofu before we went on the air here.
I had the garlic steak.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was so good. There were mashed potatoes involved that had a seasoning that was quite delightful. I actually I went a little rogue, and I mixed in some great potatoes because we grew them in the garden, and there's just so many of them. They're growing like insane. And my wife was like, "You need to eat these because they're all going to go bad." So I threw them in. Oh man, so good, so good. And like you said, not a TV dinner. These are not. No. Don't be, because you can microwave them. Don't let that confuse you. You can throw them in the oven, too, if you're somebody who loves to waste time. But I like to throw them in the microwave.
Hence the people who are listening to this show. But
yeah. So he's like, wait a minute. I could get my food in 2 minutes? Screw that. I'm putting this in for how long? Let me see.
I put mine in for like 2 minutes.
No, 2 minutes in the microwave. I'm looking under, but I don't want to.
Spillage.
Okay, well, I'm a son of a bitch. 3 to 4 minutes in the oven. It's not.
It's
not that bad. And actually, you know what? I'm going to throw them in the oven.
You got T-shirts designed with Slichter. So
yeah. But let's talk a little bit about eatright.life. All right, Eat Right is a veteran-owned lifestyle meal company that offers an array of customizable products, including conventional meals, ketogenic meals, plant-based alternatives, healthy protein donuts, which, listen, Eat Right. We love you. Thank you for continuing to send us food. Send me a donut and breakfast to satisfy all lifestyles. Eat Right knows the importance of transparency and technology in modern life. Each meal includes a barcode with every meal, allowing its members to track every step of their progress on MyFitnessPal. If you have ever used MyFitnessPal, this is a lifesaver. This is unbelievable. I can't tell you how many times I would be tracking my macros, which is annoying in the best circumstance. But then I'm sitting there, I'm asking my wife, I'm like, oh, you made dinner. What's the ingredients in here? How many grams of this? And it's like, man, getting ready for that divorce, The Tampa Bay operations are based out of a 13,000 square foot HACCP certified kitchen where they pride themselves on guaranteeing a home cooked meal experience every time. And after only 9 months in business, the company rapidly grew and launched a second market, expanding to Dallas, Texas. Currently, the company prepares 13,000 meals in the Tampa Bay area, as well as shipping statewide in Florida and to Dallas, Fort Worth. As part of of growing its current operations, they've partnered with various health and wellness companies to supply an alternative form of healthy and nutritious meals for their members. For every delectable dish that a member buys, this is incredible, they donate a meal to local charities such as Feeding America, Feeding Tampa Bay, and North Texas Food Bank. Fun fact here we've never talked about, celebrity chef Robert Hesse, is that how you say it, from Hell's Kitchen, is one of the creators behind Eat Right's menu. So if time's money, if you don't want to waste your time, do this. Go put a little bit of an investment in there. Get this food. It's healthy. Portion control, Meanie, you've talked about that before. Like, that's the hardest thing with eating healthy. Like, dude, I can get something and go, oh, this is really healthy. Well, if I eat 6 portions of it in one sitting, it's not as healthy as you'd think. Portion control, this saves you. This saves you from meal prep. No one likes meal prep, but everybody likes being fit. And eventually, we are going to come out of this quarantine. And when we come out of this quarantine, you're going to want to look better. I can tell you, since starting this, I am down 6 pounds of quarantine weight. I don't want to tell you how much more I have to go, but it's more than 6 more pounds. I have put on I had baby weight and quarantine weight that I've got to lose, but I am down, as of this morning, I'm down 6 pounds from when I first started doing the Eat Right stuff. So it really is helping just by adjusting what my lunch is. Instead of going, what do I want? I'm hungry. I'm going, what do I need? And I heat that up and I eat it, and it's delicious. And you can go to eatright.life and you can use the promo code Meanie and you can save 60% on your first week. That
Amazing.
It's incredible. 60%. It's almost rude not to go do it. It's 60. It is 60% that you can save just using the promo code Meanie. Go check it out. Get that first week 60% off using that promo code Meanie, and tell them that the Mind of the Meanie sent you. We love it. We hope that you will enjoy it, and we know if you do, you will love it as well. And we thank them for sponsoring us, continuing to sponsor us, and continuing to send us food, because that's the way into our hearts. Food.
Well, I always tell people I'm easily bribable with food. So, hey, if you bring me a cup of coffee, I might go with the extra effort. But you're going to send me a full meal, I am going to go all 10 yards there for you. Eatright.life. I mean, there's nothing more exciting to getting that box in the mail, opening up the dry ice pack that it comes in, which Mrs. Meanie popped the other day because it had the Chili Willy logo on it. She's like, oh my God, Chili Willy. And she opened up, we put it in the freezer. I put a couple in the freezer, and then for the next day, I'll put a couple in the fridge so they thaw out and stuff like that. But dude, it's so cool, their packaging, because it's like they almost vacuum pack it. Yeah. It's like it's vacuum packed, and it's just the food, and it's shrink wrap. You put it in the microwave, and it's kind of like watching Jiffy Pop being made. Like how I won't lie, the first time I kind of got scared the way it blows up. But when
I know, me too. I'm like, this is going to explode. This is going to explode. Yeah. I'm like, saying to my wife, I'm like, can you read that for me? Are you sure I was supposed to leave this plastic on?
Yeah. But the cool technology is it expands and it creates moisture in there. So when you bring your food out, not only is it hot, but it's nice and moist. And dude, I had the garlic steak the other day, and it's just like when Mrs. Meanie prepares her steak. She cuts it in these chunks that I really like. It's chunks of real steak. I had the barbecue. I had the garlic steak, and I had the barbecue chicken. And they're giving you this chicken with the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts, which it's my kryptonite, and which Mrs. Meanie hates that I eat. When I'm sleeping later.
Can we get that T-shirt, Andy?
What's that?
Brussels sprouts are my kryptonite to go along with our donuts. My kryptonite. Sure.
Oh no, Brussels sprouts are my fart fuel. But
Andy, take your pick. Which shirt you?
Schlichter. No, seriously though, this is there's sponsors and then there's sponsors. The proof is in the pudding, and they're sending us these delicious meals, and we're talking about things where you said you lost 6 pounds. I weighed myself this morning. I'm down about 5 pounds.
Great.
I'm down to 329, I believe, which I was like 340 when we started this podcast in the apocalypse and all that good stuff. But
so you're doing the opposite. I would love to else in the apocalypse.
I would love. What's that?
You're doing the opposite of everybody else. Everyone else is gaining weight, and you're just getting in shape. You're going to come out of this apocalypse. People be like, "Oh my God,
dude, I'm killing it." I'm trying. Well, I'm trying not to make my weight loss thing like this thing, because if I don't want to set goals. I just want it to happen. Yeah. So I'm eat right meals, and I'm trying to drink like a gallon of water a day. So I feel like I have more energy. I feel energized and stuff like that. And like you said, the portion control for eatright.life is the portion control that's my kryptonite, man. Because I'm staring at it, I was like, dude, I could eat this box right now. But thank God I don't, because I want to space that delicious food out throughout the week. Yeah. And I have something eatright.life gives me something to look forward to towards today. Where I have my first meal, which I'll have for lunch, and then I'm like, how long till dinner, so I can have another one of these great meals. So definitely go to eatright.life.
Yeah,
enter promo code Meanie and save some money. I mean, everybody's looking for a deal in this apocalypse. 60% is insane.
Yeah,
so,
and follow them on social media as well. Time, the number 2, Eat Right. It's at Time to Eat Right all across the board on social media. And you just learn a little bit more about them. They're awesome. And yeah, man, we thank them for sponsoring the Mind of the Meanie, and thank them for fueling us. But yeah, legitimately, it's delicious. It's not like you're not sitting there going like, oh God, here's another diet thing. I remember I did some cleanse thing where it was like a 3-day cleanse or whatever.
Right.
Oh God, horrible.
Right.
Horrible. And by the end of it, here's that you do a 3-day cleanse, and by the end of those 3 days, I'm like, get me a freaking pizza. Like I want, and that's one of the things that's awesome about this. And we're not even like at this point, we're not even like in the ad anymore. I'm just saying,
no,
like,
this is us just talking.
One of the things that's really cool about it is you can't have a success. First of all, diets don't work. I've always said you have to have a lifestyle, and you can't have a successful, healthy lifestyle with food you don't like. It's not sustainable. It's just not. I don't care who you are. Talk to a bodybuilder, talk to a fitness model, talk to anybody. It's not sustainable. And if you want to try and be healthy all year round, like I'm not, look, I'm not trying to walk around all year round with a 6-pack. I'm truly not trying to walk around at any point in the year with a 6-pack. But the reality is you can be healthy, you can be fit all year round, by just eating things like this, eating right. And yeah, Meanie, we're not going to hold you to it, but we're going to hold you to it. And we're going to check in a little bit. And I'll be honest with you, I'm glad I said that I lost a little bit of weight, because all you have to do, I have a monthly show on Fight TV called So Says Shernoff. And if you want to enjoy fluctuating weight, tune in every month to So Says Shernoff to see if I'm heavy or lighter that month. Check out February 2019. That was not a good month for me. I was rather large, and I have kind of a red complexion as it is. And we had decorated the entire set for Valentine's Day, and it was just, I was red and just fat, and it was not, I was like, bacon.
I love you.
Yeah, I looked like Brother Love. I'll never forget a friend of mine. His dad was down in our basement where we're watching. It must have been Superstars or something. This is way back in the day, and Brother Love's on, and he goes, he's like, oh, you got a little bit of his face on his tie, and I've never, because Brother Love had the white tie, and all of a sudden his red face is like, I don't know if he was sweating and it's dripping down onto his white tie.
Those lights are brutal, so I'm sure he was.
Yeah. There's that. Hey, James Sorensen, Pod Squad, elite member. I saw what you wrote here. He just wrote a nice thing. Kind of his version of what we were talking about before. The memories of what he has, putting on a green polo and original Old Spice, helps him reminisce about his father and yeah, man, and that's, it's really cool too, going live now and seeing that immediate, response to our show, where we sometimes are just at the end of it, we're like, man, I don't know, hopefully people are gonna enjoy whatever the hell we just did, and good or bad or whatever. So
hey, if you're out there and you want to help us in script what we actually talked about, or take note, be our stenographer, and just be like, this is what they talked about.
Yeah, not you, Andy. You were busy enough.
Yeah, Andy, get back in the lab.
Yeah, get back making merchandise. First of all, I don't want to say I'm disgusted by him, but I so far have only seen one piece of merchandise come through. Yeah, I mean, you make me sick.
Yeah. He has like
Andy,
no fingertips left. He's got carpal tunnel. Just like,
he said, I'm saying that he's sweating. He's like, I'm working on them. Please.
I'm so excited.
Oh, God.
I'm so excited. I'm so scared.
Have you seen the Saved by the Bell reboot trailers?
Nope.
Dude, they referenced it in one of those trailers. It's written by the people who wrote 30 Rock, and it looks hilarious.
Okay.
Speaking of 30
those
Rock,
are the right people. Those are the right people to get to write a show.
Oh my God, dude! I'm like midway through season 6 right now on 30 Rock. We are just we're chugging along here. I love this show. I am both regretting that I hadn't checked it out sooner and so glad that I didn't, because this was what I needed during this pandemic, you know?
Right. Yeah, like we just finished Golden Girls, and we are.
You finally made it through.
We made it through.
When did that just happen? Because when you did the ad-free shows thing, I believe
the other night
you hadn't finished. Wow.
We watched the series finale, and they did a spin-off show to the Golden Girls. Golden Palace.
Yeah. We
started the first 2 episodes of that.
Oh, I didn't know that was on too.
Oh, well, we have a kayfabe feed for that.
Okay.
But it's the best way to describe Golden Palace, if you can find it. It's a Golden Girls nicotine patch where, like, they added new character. They got the theme, but somebody else sings it now, so it's weird. But they have like Cheech from Cheech Marin's in it.
Yep.
And I forget who else is in it. I'm blanking, but it's still got the biting humor in parts, and then there's other parts where you're like, you know. But you you got it's all of them except for B. Arthur, and with Don Cheadle's in it. A young Don Cheadle works as the guy at the desk and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to see him, before he became this mega movie star and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
I remember watching it when it first came out, Golden Palace, because I remember being like, because I'd watched the end of the Golden Girls and as a kid, so I'm assuming my mom must have been watching it, and I was, because I definitely don't remember like setting my watch to the Golden Girls as a kid, but I do remember when Golden Palace came out, and my thought was like, well, why isn't this just Golden Girls? Like why aren't you just
why couldn't they have just stayed in the house and called it something else?
Well, what's her name? B. Arthur left, right?
Yeah, she was getting tired of
and I think
the jokes.
And I think that was their version of saying, well, we can do something new without her, but I don't think we can do Golden Girls without her.
Right. They take subtle jabs at her in Golden Palace because there's a scene where the mom, Estelle Getty's character, Estelle Getty's character.
What is it? There's Rose, Blanche. Dorothy, and then Estelle Getty.
Yeah. So there's a scene where Estelle Getty's character is taking over the kitchen in the restaurant in the hotel, and her and Cheech Marin kind of get into it because Cheech is cooking Mexican food and she wants to cook Italian food. He quits, right? So there's flash forward later in the episode, and Estelle Getty's character is in the kitchen cooking a meal, and Cheech Marin comes crawling back for his job. He goes, "Hey, I'm back," and she lifts off her head and goes, "Dorothy?" Because it's this big deep voice. Dorothy? It's like a subtle jab at B. Arthur for taking off and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of. Did you ever see the movie Major League?
Oh yeah,
and Wesley Snipes was in there and stuff like that. So they went to go make Major League 2, and he said, Wesley Snipes didn't want to do Major League 2 because he wanted to become an action star. Mm-hmm. So they recasted his character in Major League 2.
Sophia, thank you, Jonathan
thank
Chambers.
You so much. I feel like such a poser for not knowing her name, but
it's sometimes you're just so involved in the show.
Yeah, well, we're just so involved in the conversation. Like I said, we don't prepare for this shit. So, but in Major League 2, Wesley Snipes' character from Major League 1, Wesley Snipes like, I don't want to do this. I want to be an action star and all this stuff. So when they recasted his character for Major League 2, they were like, oh, well, what you do in the off season? They had the character doing like a fake action movie with Jesse the Body Ventura, like Black Thunder and White Lightning or something like that. And they were taking jabs at Wesley Snipes for not coming back and doing the second movie.
I'm going to tell you a funny thing that applies to the show.
Hope.
And, okay, over my, which way? I'm like reversed here. Over my shoulder here. Yes, okay. I always have this dude kind of sitting here.
Yeah.
So my mom, when she was a kid, always collected like the troll dolls. She had those, and now my kids play with them when they go over there, and she has them like in a bin somewhere. But but somebody, I don't know if it was my parents or whatever, somebody got me this. He was a wrestler. If you look at his muscles, a wrestler troll.
Yeah.
So I got him I was younger, and I got him, and I decided I wanted to name him. I decided to name him Joe Boo. I don't know if it was it's been a long time, so I don't really remember. I know Joe Boo had hair,
Right.
but Joe Boo looked nothing like this at all. But I named him Joe Boo, and it's funny because I didn't even remember that until you mentioned that right now, and I thought, oh my
Joe
God.
Boo is Sabu's cousin. No, I'm just kidding. But, Joe Boo now with the Allstate commercials.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. You're at
Joe,
Allstate.
Well, Joe Boo was the statue.
Oh shit. Well, who was the character who had Joe Boo?
But I don't. I'll look it up.
The guy who, can't think of his shoot name. He wanted a live chicken to be sacrificed in the locker room.
Pedro.
Okay.
Serrano?
Pedro Serrano?
Yeah.
Okay. Pedro Serrano. I'm confusing Joe Boo for Pedro Serrano.
Yeah.
But Pedro Serrano now does the Allstate commercials.
Yes.
You're at Allstate because he's got that great deep voice.
What's his name?
I'm jealous of anybody who could do that.
Dennis Haysbert.
Okay.
Allstate.
Yes. You have that troll doll. I have a troll doll over my shoulder, right there, which was the Meanie baby that I wore over my crotch when I did the naked BlueDust in the park. Which I think I had to valet for like 2 seconds in ECW, Miss Patricia. Ugh. And
this is not the first time that you've given that reaction to Miss Patricia.
Yeah. But yeah, and in real life, a fan gave me that, and I just incorporated it into my act. They put like a little Meanie shirt on there, and eventually I took that off, put my own little BWO shirt on there. Mrs. Meanie has cleaned it up. No. And on its shoulder it has a little blue heart that says Stevie and Meanie or something like that.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it's like a cool piece of Meanie. Like I said, when you make the belts, you want something to commemorate your career. Like everything on this is my wrestling shelf here. So, everything on there kind of commemorates my career. So I got the Meanie, Blue Meanie troll doll up there that I just call the Meanie baby.
James Sorensen. People who don't know, like who aren't on Patreon, are just gonna be like, why do you keep talking about James Sorensen? And the reason is he's very active here in our chat room. Which I got to tell you, join Patreon to be able to do this. You have to be an elite member. This is awesome to us. This brings a whole other side of things into this where people are just saying things that we can riff off of, which is nice. We weren't even going to do that. We didn't even know we could do comments on this.
Yeah. Again, it reminds me of that Saturday Night Live skit called Hello Trudy,
yes.
where it was named after their only viewer and only call-in guest. So we're going to have to change this to mine to James Sorensen.
But James
didn't James Sorensen write the West Wing or something? He sounds like a writer. That's like such a writer name, James Sorensen. From the man who brought you this, writer James Sorensen. From director James Sorensen.
What the hell is his name from the West Wing?
From author James Sorensen.
Yes, that is it. Oh my God, I'm like blanking out. How can I not remember his name? From
Emmy-winning composer,
The Social
James
Network.
Sorensen.
He did that as well.
Not Dick Wolf, who in school was called Wolf.
Sorkin.
Alan Sorkin.
Is it Alan Sorkin? No, that's not right.
It's Sorkin.
No. What the?
James Sorkin?
Yes, it is Alan Sorkin. Okay. Right?
Okay.
Why does that sound wrong when I'm saying that?
Sorkin. Not like Dick Wolf.
Aaron Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin. That's what it is.
Aaron.
All right. James wants a Blue Meanie Funko Pop.
I want one too.
Yeah. And
On the down low, I might have something in the works. So I can't really talk about it. And this was like all pre-minded to Meanie, so it's something I agreed to ages ago. But those things take time.
yes. And on the down low, we're working on something else that is post-minded the Meanie. Well, not post. I mean
Current.
Current. That also takes time. So there's your hint that we're working on something, and we'll revisit that in about 8 months.
Once this is all over with, I've been in the works to do a Blue Meanie beer. So I'm hoping once all this blows over and the company I've been talking to gets back in funk, they're still making beer. We can do an event at their place or something like that.
Oh,
like
yeah, dude. We are going to have so much fun. It is going to be insane.
Yeah, just wear a fucking mask.
I'm going to wear a mask on all the car rides with you.
Yeah. Well, that not even for the pandemic. Just
Yeah, no, not a pandemic. It's going to be 5 years from now, after the pandemic's long gone, and I'm still wearing a mask every time I'm with the Meanie.
You're wearing like a Josh Cousteau deep diving fucking lunar externum, whatever.
You know, you have to. Yes, we did just get an exclusive there. But no, we're working on seltzer. We're working on coffee, and Meanie will have his own beer. And he better.
Yeah.
But no, we definitely want that. Man, we have so many things that we want to do, so many live shows, so many extra cool things that we want to be able to do. Patreon kicked that off with us being able to do stuff like this, just going live. The energy behind this is so much fun. And now, tomorrow night, I got to tell you, SummerSlam to me now feels like, it for the first time in many, many years, it feels like an exciting show. Because this is something we get to do. And I'll tell you something else. We've had for months and months and months now, I would always get together with a group of friends and watch pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. And I haven't gotten together with people to watch a pay-per-view in a very long time. So to be able to get together with you and watch this and hopefully have, James Sorensen. I'm expecting James Sorensen to be watching live with us. On Fight TV tomorrow night or yesterday, if you're listening to this on Monday. Yeah, man, we're just having fun. We're having a good time. Hey, you know what would be a really good time?
What's that, sir?
If we did an Ask Meanie Anything. You ready for that?
Been ready. It's time to ask Meanie anything.
All right. We've got some questions.
It sounds like me singing the jingle while falling down a fucking flight of steps or something, just like, did you ever see Family Guy when Bobby McFerrin falls down the steps and he's like, beep, bop, boom, bop, beep,
yes.
boop, bop. Cool.
Stewie's
on the top of the steps going, cool.
Let's see.
Yeah, ask me anything, please.
Let's see. Because I know there was one early. Okay, James Sorensen. If a movie was made about you, who would you want to play you?
Well, unfortunately, Chris Farley's no longer with us because everybody says I remind them of him. Does it have to be 11? Can we play fantasy baseball? Fantasy.
So I'm actually going to take what James said, and we're going to expand upon that because one of the first questions I had here came from Tony Tudat, listener number 4815162342. That is what he wrote when he signed this. He actually had asked this question before, so I'm going to piggyback off of what James said, where he said, with the upcoming biopic of Hulk Hogan played by Chris Hemsworth, it got me thinking. If they were to make an ECW movie other than yourself, who do you see playing the Blue Meanie? Also cast Stevie, Nova, Raven, Sandman, Dreamer, and Heyman. And I think this could be, we're a little light on Ask Meanie today. So I think this is James' question and also Tony's question. Let's have some fun with this, Meanie. Starting with the Blue Meanie. Who is playing you in the movie? This movie's coming out now. It's not at any time. We're talking about current actors today. Who's playing you?
Well, I'm going to kind of call an audible here. I have to, because it just came into my head. I don't want to lose the thought. Mm-hmm. But to play Paul Heyman, you get James Belushi. John Belushi's brother, James.
Jim Belushi.
Jim
According
Belushi.
to Jim. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy from The Principal.
Yeah.
Great movie, by the way.
He'd be amazing.
I could totally see Jim Belushi playing Paul Heyman. You would just have to give him the Caesar bowl cut and stuff like that.
Which I haven't seen Jim Belushi in a long time. He very well might have that.
Yeah. So Jim Belushi would definitely pay. Yeah, I'm going to have to go out of order on this because thoughts are coming to me. But if we're going to do a Blue Meanie movie, Paul Heyman would be played by Jim Belushi. Dreamer would be played by Julian from the Trailer Park Boys. Because every time I post a photo of Dreamer, they go, or I posted a photo. I met the Trailer Park Boys once. They pulled me up on stage once. And I took a photo with them, and they're like, "Hey, is that you and Dreamer?" And it was Julian from the Trailer Park Boys. So, Trailer Park Boys. To play Nova, we'll get Donnie B.
I just brought up a picture just for anyone who's not familiar.
Yeah, that's Tommy
Yes,
Dreamer.
there he
It's
is.
got to be Tommy Dreamer.
Okay.
Look up Jim Belushi. I mean, he could totally pull off Paul Heyman. Which, ironically, Paul Heyman's initial character was Paulie Dangerously, which was based off of the movie Johnny Dangerously. With I'm blanking. But who would play the Blue Meanie? Current actor.
Yeah, we'd have to cut that hair back a little bit, but
Oh yeah, but he could
he'd
totally
do
be
it.
Paul. He's got the tan. You know, Paulie is so tan. But who else could we get? Stevie could be. Dude, I'm blanking. I wish. Because Chris Farley would be totally perfect for Blue Meanie. Current actors. How about? I might have to look this up. Kid from Superbad, the heavyset kid from Superbad.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah,
That's what
Jonah Hill.
I was thinking Jonah Hill, because here's the other thing you have to remember: we're doing a movie about ECW, so we're not doing current day Blue Meanie. So from an age standpoint, we're getting in the ballpark. Jonah Hill would be great for you.
Yeah, I think he'd be a pretty good method act. I mean, he would have to put the weight back on, but
I think he's been.
Well, that's the
fluctuating.
thing. Like I was fat, and then I got skinny. I got fat again.
Yeah.
He was fat. He got skinny. And I don't know if he's fat again.
I think he's a little heavy again.
Yeah,
got
I'm
heavy
not
again.
making light of it because I went through everything he's gone through with the gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. I've gone through. So
Listen, there's a thing too, like when I talked about getting,
he could be the blue boy too.
Yeah. Well, I talked about how I lost some weight, and you talked about what your weight's at. Genetics play a role in things. You and I could have started at the same point and eaten the same amount, and we were not going to look the same because there's genetics. That's why you have these real sons of bitches who eat at like Calvin Tan, who eats everything under the sun. And that man is 105 pounds soaking wet with a brick in his pocket. There are some people who it does not matter. They will never gain weight. Some people gain a little bit. Some people will gain a lot by having less than the people who will gain no weight. So that's just something I want to throw out there for people who have challenges with this. It is not as easy as, just eat healthy, or, how come you're as heavy as you got? You know what I mean? Like, so right. I'm... Anyway, off my soapbox there. So, Jonah Hill, Jim Belushi. What's that?
Julian from
Trailer Park Boys.
Hold on.
What?
John
Mind
Paul
of the Meanie, Mrs. Meanie round and Tracy Roots got something to say. Hey, hey, hey.
Well, it's not necessarily a Mrs. Meanie run-in, but it's a...
It counts. I
yeah,
heard her.
It counts.
I heard her.
What's
What did
that?
she say?
Yeah, we're live. Okay. Okay.
What's happening?
Okay, so she's telling me her, since we're live and recording, she is making a run to the post office because the meanie packs, she's sending out her meanie packs.
Oh, man.
But
nice.
Julian.
All right, so we got Sandman, Raven, Nova, and Stevie.
Well, like I said, Nova's going to be Donnie B. I don't care. Sandman. Oh my God.
This is tough, like right off the
It is.
the top.
It is. It's fantasy booking. If I was 20 years old in the car ride, I'd be naming off names left and right.
Yeah, because I don't really like know modern.
Raven, I would get whoever played Buddy Revell in 3 O'Clock High. Because every time I watch 3 O'Clock High, I think of Raven. He was the villain in Kindergarten Cop when he came back to try to steal the kid back.
Oh yeah, well yeah, but how old is this guy now? We'll let this one pass.
Hey, this is fantasy booking, so.
Yeah.
Hey, for Sandman, can we get the ghost of Paul Newman?
Oh no.
Come say that in the mic. You owe
Oh
us
no,
a
we
run.
heard her.
No, but get on camera. Go ahead.
I said, for the Sandman, can we get the ghost of Paul Newman? He could reboot Slapshot. Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be great.
Wouldn't that be the Dudleys?
Yeah, let me put on Tracy's sunglasses since they were on the couch next to me.
Yeah, look how handsome!
Look at that looker.
man. Got a little Elton John. Dude, I just put over sunglasses over my shoot glasses. How stupid am I?
Do they fit your fat head?
Yeah, they fit my
I'm
fat
so
head.
proud of you.
Yeah. Well, I've been eating
This is like,
Eat Right, Got Life. So
It's like
my head shrunk.
look at these with the hearts, like old school Shawn Michaels, like the heart blue kid.
Well, I was the heart attack kid when I was Shawn Michaels.
That's true.
Yeah. I totally could
H
have
Blue
used
K?
you back then when I was doing that gimmick. This will be the still that we put out for when we say what we talked about on Mine and DeMeanie. So let's pose. Let's
Here we go.
do that pose
okay,
again. I'll
here we
do
go.
the Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the still for the show. Let me put my shoot glasses again because I'm blind.
Oh man.
Well, not really blind. I just need them for reading.
Star of the show, James Sorensen says Matthew McConaughey. Honestly, I could see Matthew McConaughey. I don't know which one he's referencing, but
Dude,
that could
Matthew
cover Sandman,
McConaughey.
Raven, or Stevie.
Matthew McConaughey can revive his fucking. Oh my God.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton. That's yeah. Why not?
Why
Billy
not?
Bob Thornton. That's my vote.
For Sandman.
Yeah. Well,
Why not?
did you? Yeah. Fuck it. It's our show. It's our
whatever you want.
fantasy.
Let's
So
see
who do
what
we
else
have
got
left?
here. Stevie and Raven. I'm saying Matthew McConaughey for Stevie. I'm saying for
Matthew
Raven.
McConaughey.
Or I say for Raven. Picture him like done up in the I could see it.
Yeah. I mean, Nicolas Cage was almost a wrestler in The Wrestler.
Yeah.
You get Nicolas Cage for Raven. I quote the Raven, or whatever in Nicolas Cage voice or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible. I know. This is me keeping me real with my shitty impersonation, but man, yeah, this might be the only question for Ask Me Anything this
I know.
week.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to shift gears over to this one. Comes from Tacos at 420 311 OPP.
I love tacos.
Man, really hit. I don't know if that's how he meant for it to be read, 420 311 OPP, but a lot of references there.
Yeah.
Where was your favorite place as a kid to see wrestling that isn't around anymore?
I'll eliminate DCW Arena because that's kind of cheating. Dude, the Philadelphia Civic Center for the NWA shows, man. That was a great place to watch shows. Philly crowds kept the Crockett NWA the wrestlers on their toes because we always cheered the heels. Mm-hmm. Philly was a heel town, and a lot of wrestlers knew when they came to Philly, it's going to be the upside down world because, fucking, guys who are getting cheered every night probably getting booed, except for, there was an exception for Rock and Roll Express always got cheered. Dusty always got cheered. Nikita as a heel got cheered. Midnight Express always got cheered, even when they were heels. Mm-hmm. The Horsemen got cheered, even though they were heels. Philly was that kind of town, and the Philly Civic Center was was really a great place to watch wrestling. The Philadelphia Civic Center is almost an exact replica of the Atlantic City Convention Center where WrestleMania 3 was. They had the dome ceiling. They're both convention centers, both dome ceilings, both had the balconies and stuff like that, even though Civic Centers was a little bit closer. But Philadelphia Civic Center was definitely a great place. I was talking about my grandfather and his travel shirt. He would wear the travel shirt he would take me to like the Bash in Philly, and we'd go stay at my Uncle Jimmy's house, and we'd catch a cab over to, here comes the great memories. We take a ride over to the Civic Center, watch the shows, and he had his Jeff cap, the glasses, and the brown travel shirt I have next to me. And we'd go to the Civic Center shows and watch and cheer and be mad about the dusty finishes where when we thought we just watched Nikita win the United States title in the cage, and they left the building, and then they announced that due to disqualification he is not the champion, and we'd be like, boo, we're not coming back, this is bullshit until next month. Just like fans now, I'm never gonna watch Raw again until I complain about it next week.
Yep.
But yeah, it's Philadelphia Civic Center. I have a Spectrum Wrestling shirt, because I loved going to the Spectrum, but I should probably do a Philly Civic Center shirt for Pro Wrestling Tees.
Definitely do
just
that.
because I love that building. It's no longer there, so
the
don't
Spectrum would be mine if I had to.
Yeah, I have a couple Spectrum bricks too.
I remember as a young kid watching. He was probably like middle aged at this point. I feel like the Blue Meanie at WrestleMania 15. I just remember I was a young whippersnapper, and I just. No. But in all seriousness, you weren't old by any means. And I was 15, but I do remember actually, and I've shared that picture on social media before. I have a picture of you down at ringside because I remember my buddy John and I were, we were just like, this is so, because like it's WrestleMania in Philadelphia, and here is one of our guys from ECW.
Philly guy on a Philly pay-per-view.
Yep, this is an ECW guy. Like Blue Meanie was one of ours that got to infiltrate WWE or WWF WrestleMania. Like it was such an exciting moment. But no, you're pretty old. But hey, here's a question that comes from hashtag Black Lives Matter at Snow Jordan. First, he asked, did you use the shower head to help your flush this morning?
No, it was pretty good today.
Okay. Huh. Having a regular day.
Well, today was, so I didn't really need much help with that, so.
Oh, can you tell us a Terry Funk memory you haven't shared before? He's my favorite ever. Always like learning new things about him. I'm afraid I may never meet him. And unfortunately, may not. Like, I know he was supposed to be at a StarCast, and obviously he was going through the loss of his wife and just wasn't ready to be out there.
Yeah.
Hopefully he stays healthy and we do get to meet. I met him. I'll tell you real quick before you tell, obviously, a much better story, but
no, I got one in mind. Go ahead.
Bill Apter brought Terry Funk to it was my elementary school when I was in 5th grade. His daughter went to school there. She was in 3rd grade, and brought Terry Funk to our like end of year school, like I don't know what it was. It was like a carnival type thing. Mm-hmm. And it was like a meet and greet with Terry Funk, and Bill was like, I can bring a wrestler. And the funny thing is, he's wearing, I have to find, my mom has this picture somewhere. But Terry Funk is wearing, I want to say, an Eastern Championship Wrestling hat.
Right.
I believe Zubaz pants.
Yes.
I did not know who Terry Funk was. I was 10 years old. I was a WWF fan, but I wasn't old enough to have remembered when he had stopped by before, and he hadn't yet been back. I did not know what Eastern Championship Wrestling was. So I didn't know, but I was still so excited to meet him because I knew he was a real professional wrestler. Mm-hmm. Looking back on it, of all the people Bill Apter could have brought in to meet a bunch of kids, during, I guess this would have been, if I was in like 94,
Right.
like, come on, Bill. You could have gotten somebody that the kids would have popped for a little bit more than Terry Funk.
Right.
Terry Funk would have been great had this been, bringing to the high school in 98. That would have been the time to do it. But
Right.
but no, so I remember that was my one time I ever met Terry Funk, and I just have always looked back on it as such a wasted time, because had this been a few years later, I was a massive fan of Terry Funk,
Right.
but didn't know who he was at the time. But anyway, so what's your story?
It was I did the Gathering of the Juggalos for ICP right outside Columbus, Ohio, and it was the weekend that the BWO wrestled the Mexicools at Great American Bash. So, but like the Friday, Saturday, I did the Gathering of the Juggalos show, and we're just back at the hotel, and I went over to Terry's room to say, "Hey, Terry, how you doing?" And I wanted to get one of his books. He's got an excellent book. Please go get it. Forever Hardcore. Our buddy Dominic just did a interview with him talking about the book, which is on YouTube. Please go check that out. But I went over to get the book, and I'm like a couple Miller Lights deep. We're just sitting there shooting the shit, and just sitting there talking to Terry was awesome. I was like, "Hey, man, please, can you sign it to me?" And he's like, before he would even sign it, he's like, "Here, read the book." And he had me read the foreword to the book. And it was a dedication to the jobbers. It's like a tribute to the jobbers, because without the jobbers, back in the day, the guys, who we call enhancement guys now, but there would be no superstars, without the jobber. And that was the inspiration for the Job Squad. It's like, you think, just because you're main eventing WrestleMania, you have all the power, but the jobbers, are the guys who could have took that tombstone pile driver, got up and just dusted their head off and no-sold it, Yep. So, but, Terry Funk did this dedication in his book to the jobbers, and I read it out loud to Terry, and halfway through, I started crying. And I was like, man, that was beautiful. And, we had a moment, and he signed the book, for me. I hope you, Blue Meanie, I hope you enjoy this daggum book and all this good stuff. And he gives me a little shout out in the book, because he wrestled for us for 3PW, and he was 3PW champion and stuff like that. So he gave 3PW a little shout out in the book. But
That's awesome.
It was just that moment of one-on-one with Terry Funk. He was sitting on a chair in his room, I was sitting on the other chair, and just talking about life, and reading that chapter, reading his shout out to the jobbers, which I got a little weepy over. But really cool. Go get the Terry Funk book, Forever Hardcore. It's such a good book. So you can read that book and you hear Terry's voice and stuff like that. It's so amazing.
That was a really good question. Hey, speaking of going and getting stuff, before we do that, actually, this guy, a new person commenting, James Sorensen, says, "Josh, has anyone ever told you that you look like country artist Chris Young?" So I admittedly don't know who Chris Young is, but I Googled him, and I could see it, I guess. Here he is rolling up his sleeve.
Because he's badass.
Yeah, I could see that. But here he is looking like he's carrying a little bit of quarantine weight. So, I do not have a head of hair like him, though. That dude's got a head of hair. Let me see. I think someone else had asked a question, too. It might have been our boy Travis. Yeah, Travis, here's going to be the last question for Ask Meanie Anything for this episode, not forever. Favorite Smashing Pumpkins album?
Oh, wow. That is a great question.
That is a great question.
Everybody says Gish, because that. I mean, Gish is a great Smashing Pumpkin records, but Siamese Dream would have to be it. My favorite song off the album, Mayonnaise. I just like Smashing Pumpkins. The thing I like about Smashing Pumpkins, they can rock out, but they can do a song that you could just lay there and just stare at the ceiling and meditate to, and just daydream to. You know, first time I heard the Smashing Pumpkins was on the soundtrack for the movie Singles. And I was like, who is this? Because I'm listening to it, and it's just like this audio journey, you know. Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream, definitely my favorite album. Even though it's like their big, you know, I mean, Gish is like for the hardcores. Siamese Dream was kind of like their commercial coming out. And then Melancholy was like this epic double record.
I was going to say, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. I had to look up to remember what it was called, but that was the one that I liked.
That was the epic 2 CD thing.
Yeah. But at my age, that was kind of like when I was first getting into like, you know, music and stuff, like that was a pretty fresh album, I suppose. That was not supposed to be a dig at you. That was
right.
That was not supposed to be a dig.
And you know what? You know, I always say there's bands that have perfect albums. Like for me, Van Halen's perfect album was Fair Warning. The Cult has a perfect album called Sonic Temple. There's so many bands that have, like Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, perfect album, not a bad track. Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream, from start to beginning. I mean, start to end.
From the start to the beginning, it was
perfect.
great. After that,
yeah, everything went downhill. But you know, very fortunate too. I've gotten to meet Billy and talk to him about some stuff. And during the quarantine, he's done like
NWA confirmed.
Yeah. Yeah, he's done some stuff where he does song-by-song breakdowns for Gish, but hopefully he does that for Siamese Dream too. But yeah, Billy's a good dude, man. Just misunderstood.
Yeah, that I think that like I said, that was the album that I like first got into. But nowadays, what's kind of cool is like, you know, they'll throw on a Spotify, they'll do whatever, and I feel like people aren't celebrating albums quite as much as they used to. Like now they're, you know, it's like I want to put on the Smashing Pumpkins channel, you know, and it's just
I do that.
Yeah, all over the place. You have to kind of sometimes look back and go, all right, what did that come from? Travis once says, how amazing was that last North American tour the Pumpkins did?
Dude, it was amazing. We were very fortunate.
No, but he asked how amazing, Meanie.
Huh?
I'm kidding. Was it?
No.
Never mind.
It was amazing. I got to see that tour in Philly at Wells Fargo Center, and then they did a show in Camden where they totally switched up their set. Because like that, the tour they did for the Arena Rock thing was so big and epic that when they went to like the smaller venues like Camden, they had to like reimagine it. Mm-hmm. And Billy has this woman who does his sets, Linda Strawberry. She has a really good Instagram page where she posts like photos from the sets and stuff like that. She designed one of those like Russian dolls, the doll and the doll and the doll for Billy and stuff like that. But like that set for that last tour in Philly, I felt bad because he had such a great video wall package going on behind him. I was like, I'm watching the video wall. I'm like, holy shit, there's like a band right here playing. Yeah, right. But the video wall went along perfectly with the.
I guess that had to have been their intention, right?
Yeah, it was an experience, and when they came back around on the second loop, they redesigned it totally, and again, it was such a great experience. I think Billy might have retweeted like one of the bootlegs from that tour or something like that, and I think it was my buddy Joe Burns who might have recorded it. So, or no, he retweeted a Jim Powers bootleg from their anniversary show. But my boy Joe has a bunch of the Pumpkin stuff on his YouTube.
Jim Powers is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yeah. Something Powers. There's like two main guys who record every show. It's something Powers and my boy Joe. But yeah, that Pumpkins tour was amazing.
You know what else is amazing, Meanie?
What's that?
Some of our merch. And you can get our merch over at prowrestlingtees.com/mindofthemeanie. Our main man, the doctor of merchandise, Slichter, he is just churning out design after design after design, and you can go over if you would like to support the Mind of the Meanie and show the world how much you love Mind of the Meanie. You can go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie and get so many great shirts over there. Meanie, what's your current favorite, would you say?
My current favorite, which Chef Mike tweeted to me this morning, was, and thank God for Chef Mike, man. He's out there. I mean, we have Andy designing the merch. We have Chef Mike supporting us with the great merch. The BWO Japan shirt, which has been moving quite a bit recently since I put it out there, because it was available in the 90s, but only in Japan. And then once it was done, I should say, it was over. But once it was done,
Still over.
in Japan, you couldn't find it anymore. And like the secondary market, with people selling it on eBay for outrageous numbers of money, outrageous costs. I think no good. But I was like, you know what? Let me bring it back. I put out the BWO shirt. I put out the BWO barbed wire shirt. I put out the BWO baby onesie. I was like, you know what? Basically, I wanted the shirt for myself. Okay, this is a confession. The BWO Japan shirt is one of my favorite shirts. That I'm going to reach out to Ryan at Pro Wrestling Tees, for some of my shirts. I definitely want a BWO Japan shirt for myself. So shout out to Chef Mike, man. He posted himself wearing the BWO Japan shirt this morning. Another great shirt that's kind of making the comeback with the Flyers being the playoffs is the Philadelphia T-shirt in Flyers orange. So if you're a Philly sports team or a Flyers fan, I got the Philadelphia shirt in each Philadelphia sports team colors, including the my favorite Eagles green, the Kelly green shirt, which technically they have to call the Irish green shirt. But if you're a Phillies fan, Philadelphia sports fan, So, but there's also a throwback to, it's a takeoff the ECFNW shirt. So we have the ECW colors. We have every, Philly sports team colors. Go over to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie and, get your Philly fan sportage on, and with my Philadelphia themed shirts. But yeah, that shirt's been making a comeback over ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie.
And some other shirts that are maybe not making a comeback, but making their debut that we have over at ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. We got the brand new BWF. It's body unpacking. We've got the Come Burp Me, the Igloo Meanie. And of course, there's the new, the Mind of the Meanie badge shirt that looks like the old ECW round logo.
So good.
But one of my favorites has got to be Alabama Khrushchev, 89 World Tour. Awesome shirt.
Favorite fictional band. It's my favorite fictional
greatest band of all time.
Your favorite fictional band too.
Yes, show your love for that. Also, you can go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Sosa Shernoff, and you'll be able to check out some of my great merch over there. We mentioned before, if you join Patreon, even just to join to get the shirts, if you want jackets, if you want hoodies, if you want shirts, if you want mugs, if you want towels, flags, everything, all these different logos, all the logos you find on ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie, and then some. Make sure that you go sign up for our Patreons, patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. We would love to have you here with us. You could jump on live and talk to us here. But finally, we want to talk about Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand. You go to collarandelbowbrand.com, use promo code Meanie and save 10% for awesome shirts. We've talked about in the past so many great shirts over there. The BWO took over. There's great shirts there, that mirrored shirt. And then, of course, the Ribera jacket, but it's not Ribera. It's tell us a little bit about that.
It almost looked like an electronic union hall, like like a union hall for ECW used to run that one in Massachusetts, but yeah, it's a mock Ribera jacket, which again, unfortunately I've never been to Japan. Unfortunately, never been to Ribera's, but I could pretend I was with the Luke, with Doc Gallows, it's like the satin baseball jacket, that every wrestler wore back in the 80s, which is
Yep.
also a really cool throwback. When they would wear the satin jackets to the ring with the towels over their shoulders tacked in, like old school Bob Backlund,
Yep. Bob Backlund, the Brain Busters, and then even the Revival did that for a little while too.
I love the Revival, man. They're great. They're doing great things there over in AEW.
So go check it out. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie /Blue Meanie BWO /So Shernoff and Collar and Elbow brand.com.
Shout out to Al Snow and Rod Hicks over there at Collar Elbow because they are killing it. They do so much good stuff with raising money for Shad's family, for the funeral expenses and stuff like that. Shout out to Ryan over at Pro Wrestling Tees. He's doing phenomenal work. And I'm proud to say that I work with both companies. A lot of people, like to choose sides. It's like it's the Monday Night T-shirt wars or something like that. But no, I'm proud to say,
Switzerland over there, man.
Yeah, great people all around. They've helped me personally and professionally. And man, go support both companies.
And so as a little tease,
yes,
something is coming to Pro Wrestling Tees for Mind of the Meanie that is not a T-shirt. It's coming soon. We'll keep you posted on that. But so just
beautiful, brother, beautiful.
Thank you. Well, man, I've given about as much as I can to this. I need to go take a nap before we have to record tomorrow.
Yeah, man, we got an action-packed weekend here. We got this. We got alternative commentary tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning, I'm doing an interview with a podcast in Australia, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
But it's a hard-hitting weekend. After we wrap up here, me and Mrs. Meanie we're wrapping up. Me and Mrs. Meanie are gonna run down to the post office. Shout out! A lot of you don't know this. I keep a PO box, old school, throwback to the '90s. And we're going to go down there, sign some SAA, self-addressed stamp envelope stuff. So I've kind of been neglecting that. I apologize to anybody who sent me something there, but I'm going to go down there right after we wrap this and do a impromptu.
I have a note for that.
Oh yeah, here we go.
So the thing with the SASEs is I keep the self-addressed stamped. I know it when I see it. Like when I have the P.O. Box keys, when I open the P.O. Box and I see Blue Meanie fan mail sitting there, I leave it there because if I bring it home, it's coming home to die. It's never going back out in the mail. So I have to bring him,
Sign it
he's
there.
busy during the week and then he's doing this and they close at 4 on Saturday. So let's hope that the Blue Meanie can sign some fan mail.
Then let's wrap this up. We need to get moving.
Shut up. He is.
But everybody, I will tell you this, everybody who's a Patreon member, they are going to know that P.O. Box because that will be on the return address for when you receive your membership cards, which have been
going out in the mail.
They have been found. The post office lied to me, told me that a specific neighbor had it. That neighbor looked. They, in fact, did not. Another neighbor had it. I don't know who that neighbor was because they just dropped it in my mailbox, unless it was that first neighbor and they just didn't want to tell me. But either way, we've got it, and it's on its way to you guys. So
we're on the way.
Yeah, they're on their way. But I think at this point, we're going to start playing ourselves out.
Play ourselves out. What's that mean?
It means I play music while we say bye.
Everybody who's watching on the live feed, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
We appreciate you. Hopefully we gave you some entertainment.
And everybody who's listening and has to listen to us talk about the live feed and Patreon, thank you for sticking with us. Hey,
eventually we'll get, we'll find a even keel to where we're not,
Listen, you know what? I don't feel bad about promoting the Patreon. The reason I don't feel bad is because I feel confident you're going to get your money's worth. So we are doing you a favor by you doing us a favor for us doing you a favor by you doing us a favor. But yeah, so make sure to follow us on social media. You can find the Blue Meanie and myself at Mind of the Meanie on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And you can find the Blue Meanie as an individual at Blue Meanie BWO, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Find me at So Says Shernoff on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget to visit mindofthemeanie.com and then go to prowrestlingtees.com/mindofthemeanie/Blue Meanie BWO/ So Says Shernoff, collarandelbowbrand.com, promo code Meanie. Make sure to check out our great sponsors, whether it's eatright.life or make sure to check out the book Bibbidi Boozidi Book by Guy Hutchinson. Man, just a lot of people supporting us. Really appreciate everybody and all of your support. And make sure to go to fight.tv if you're listening to this now. And even if this is after SummerSlam, check out for free alternative commentary with the Blue Meanie and myself. And check that out to find out when the next alternative commentary is going to be. So, it's a little extra something for you. For the Blue Meanie, I'm Josh Shernoff. Join us again next Monday for another trip into the mind of the Meanie.
Blue World Order. The world of MLW radio never stops.